Tanner. Brad, I don't even know how to pronounce your last name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name.
Klozinski.
Yeah, I would have been way off. Way off. I'm glad you guys made it up. I'm glad with Tanner, I mean, we just met, what, a month ago maybe?
Yeah.
Over at Dustin and Hunter's little shindig over there. So cool to kind of get acclimated with you.
Mm-hmm.
You and your Goldilocks fro, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
But how you guys been? How you guys
Not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad.
been good? What so I guess like I said, introduce you guys a little bit. I mean, what got you into hunting? When did you start hunting? Where are you guys from?
I'm Brad. Got into hunting.
Kazawadzinski.
Closing. Grew up in Bedford, Michigan, but I'm living in Waseon, Ohio now. But
Bedford? I didn't even know that.
oh yeah, and then got into hunting early. Just grew up doing it. My dad used to deer hunt a bunch. Not much else other than that, but got into turkey and everything else from that. And ducks and geese from my uncle, and then after that, basically just took it on myself.
What would you say your favorite is?
Definitely turkeys for sure.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Not even close.
That's what I figured. What about you, old Goldie?
My name's Tanner Lemley.
Sucks at pool.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking bad at pool. I'm from Fayette, which is only about like 20 minutes from Brad, Waseon. Grew up hunting early as well. My dad was into it. Deer hunting, pheasant hunting, then pretty much waterfowl as well. Then ever since then, here basically.
That's I mean, like I said, we just got to know each other, but Brad and I, what was that, 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah, a couple
We
seasons
met.
ago. Yeah.
And always see your, Snapchat or Instagram, whatever it is. And come turkey season, it's like a whole YouTube channel, which I'm sure I don't have your Snapchat yet, Tanner, but I'll get it. But it's a YouTube channel of like hunting public, basically, of just how is he killing so many turkeys? And then, obviously talking to me more and more about it. But what's kind of the behind the scenes passion for like the turkey hunting? Kind of what really draws you to that over anything else?
I just think they're probably the wariest animal anywhere around here, and that's what does it for me.
Kind of just like what we talked about, like that 20-yard shot, that 10-yard shot.
Yeah. There's a difference between getting close and getting real close to a turkey, and that's what I like.
That's what I there's something about that. Did you say your favorite was a turkey as well?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same kind of like ordeal, like just that close encounter.
Oh yeah, hear him gobble at 10, 15 yards is crazy.
The interaction is what is crazy. I mean, you can interact with ducks and geese, but they're not talking back to you as much as a turkey does.
Right, and that's why I tell everybody. It's like, you hear these bastards gobbling on a roost, and your toe hairs are going to be standing up. And they're like, oh, dude, I heard a turkey gobble before. It's fine. I'm like, yeah, farm turkey that's 400 pounds. Like, that you've heard before. You haven't heard like a wild eastern up in a tree that's right on top of you, just hammer it.
Yeah, unless you're fully or for it when I take you out and you just think it's the coolest thing you've ever seen, I'm probably not taking you out again.
Yeah, because they will be there the next year or a week later.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And that's a whole different conversation right there about getting involved with like groups and stuff like that. I mean, is it mostly just you two that hunt together with that kind of stuff?
Yeah, for turkeys, turkeys is basically a 1 or 2 man game as long as you can find somebody that
wants to have the drive to go do it.
Right. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
The drive.
Like, are you gonna if we go out of town? Like, are you gonna sleep in the truck for 10 days?
It'd be
or
cool
are
with
you gonna
me farting all night.
Yeah. Or somebody's feet fucking reeking.
Yeah.
Brad.
I was gonna say that kind of sounds like you're doing a hit there, but whatever.
Yeah. Right. Or are you just gonna bitch after 2 nights and want to spend $150 a night on a hotel? Because I ain't into that.
No, I ain't got time for that.
No.
So, this might be a dumb question, but I feel like it is a dumb question because I already feel like I know the answer. You hunt all over like a bunch of different states, hopping all over the place. What made you kind of get into that, and how did you guys start into branching out and knowing about like, and don't give all your secrets away, but like you're like,
right.
How do you know this area, just research wise, or how is all that?
I spend 12 months out of the year researching it.
Okay.
Figuring out, reading, going through the DNR's website and all their studies and their hatch surveys and their harvest surveys and everything like that, and figure out which place is the best in the state to go. Because I mean, you look at a state like, look at a state like Ohio. I mean, there's
huge, flat.
That's a big state,
right,
to try to figure out which square mile you need to be in,
right,
to find a turkey to kill.
Right. And that's, I mean, I don't know. Does Michigan really do that much with like the surveys with turkeys? Because I feel like southern states more, like Alabama, Kentucky, states like down that way, they do so much more research on birds than up here.
Michigan's kind of rough because they don't have the reporting of turkeys.
Okay, it's like calling in wise.
Right,
I gotcha.
And that's where most states get most of their information.
Okay, I gotcha.
Because some states are crazy about it. They'll tell you what town the highest kills are in.
So it's oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But you gotta dig for it.
Right? Wow.
You're clicking on link to get to a link to get into a link, and then it'll show you.
Holy smokes! I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad Michigan doesn't do that now. But I mean, it's pretty close though, because like they do it for the deer now, which I mean, the DNR supposedly only knows about it, but whatever.
Right.
I know you deer hunt as well. I mean, just Ohio.
Yeah, just Ohio.
Okay, you deer hunt at all?
I used to pretty big, and then I'm trying to get out of it right now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you're trying to get out of it?
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll deer hunt this year. Honestly,
really?
Yeah.
I haven't deer hunted 6 years.
I'm gonna try to kill one with the recurve.
That'd be sweet.
And if I don't kill one with the recurve, then it's just not happening.
I'm going up Tim Wells style with a spear this year.
You should. That'd be awesome.
My luck got me ending up like him in like Africa with a
spear his leg.
Yeah, I'm good on all that.
Yeah.
What about turkey hunting with a bow?
I'm not a big advocate for it.
No?
No.
Because of... What about you?
I mean, I've done it, but
I've done it too, and I've also lost 50% of the birds I've killed with bows. So
now, are you going for the headshots?
I'm going for body only.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Not tracking-wise. That's what you're...
Yeah. Tracking-wise, I mean, unless you take their legs out, they're probably going to get away.
Right.
I know my dad, he shot one, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, and he shot it, it was rainy, and we had pheasant hunt dog, and the dog ended up tracking it down and finding it. But the one I shot with my bow, I shot right through its butthole. Dropped it instantly, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've shot them in the back when they're walking away, like not in strut, and that's put them down pretty good. Mm-hmm. But
my whole thing is like the 410, which is getting huge nowadays in turkey hunting. I want to shoot one with a 410, and it just goes back to like the closeness of getting that bird. Mm-hmm. I'd like to try to do the old headshot with the turkey, because it's a whole different, I don't know, skill asset or skill, to get a bird that
just
close.
Another challenge, yeah.
Right, and that
I'm for headshots for sure, but to body shoot them, that's not.
What are you aiming for? Double winging them?
Personally, I try to take out their hips because a turkey can't fly unless it can run.
Oh, so really?
I
guess it can't jump up and fly like a duck.
It's got to be either to run and get a jump to fly, or it's got to be able to jump. Okay. So if you take its hips out, then it's just going to sit there and flop its fucking wings, and it's going to die there. Which,
when you got deep, dude, but all right.
Yeah. But shotgun's the way to kill them, realistically.
What do you use?
I use 12. But I do have a 410. I take it on every trip we go to, but I just can't bring myself to pull it out.
Well, I think we've talked about this too, like with traveling all over the place like you guys do. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard, like unless it's like day one or something like that, and you got a couple birds roosted up. Like, if you miss, you're and the birds are so weary, I feel like.
The only way I could, as of now, maybe when I'm 50 it'll be different, but the only way I could probably see myself doing it is, say, me and Tanner are somewhere out of town or even in town, and one of us has a 12 gauge or whatever, and I got a 410, or vice versa. That way, if something silly happens and I miss him at 8 yards with a 410 with 100 pellets in it, Tanner can
What
kill.
kind of shot are you using? Using that
I
TSS?
use TSS.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I like it a lot, but I think people abuse it, shooting them at 60, 70 yards.
I agree. We just kind of had that conversation out there too. You what do you run? You run?
I mean TSS, and then I shoot heavy metal also.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
With 12 gauge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I've been thinking about even for my waterfowl as well, running a 20 gauge until like later in the year, like using that 12 gauge is like my late season 10 gauge that most people use.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't feel like there's a thing that you can't kill with a 20 gauge.
Oh, for sure.
Almost all year round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Unless you're trying to kill them at 60 yards, you can kill any turkey you want with a 20 gauge under 35, 40 yards. That's max.
And if you're not, I guess you want to say it's a whole different skill like thing to shoot them far out or whatever, but I just don't see the fun in it.
No.
That's, I don't know.
No. Why would you want to? Anybody can call a turkey into 60, 70 yards.
You hear all the time that bird got hung up at 60, 70
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's when they hang up.
Right. That's, I don't know. Yeah, it's
That's
I want them in close. I want them drumming in my face. I want them spitting in my face.
Uh-huh.
I want,
That's what puts you apart from everybody else.
Yeah. And for me, like last year, it took me almost 2 months to shoot my bird. Granted, I had other people shoot birds before me that I took out, yada, yada, but I'm not shooting that bird that far out, or I'm not pushing my luck on like what we were talking about, running and gunning on day one, or I'm, let's sit back a little bit, let's relax, kind of see what they're doing, their patterns, whatever it may be. Question for both of you guys, which you might not know this, but I'm super curious about this. I always feel like food source, whether it be corn or beans, the birds are always in one and not the other as much. Do you know why or anything? Is that protein more?
Honestly, I don't know.
It's a tough question. Yeah. And I know they're in the winter wheat fields, right?
I know they like wheat fields,
especially the hens nesting reasons wise.
I mean, I feel like I see a lot of turkeys in cornfields for sure.
You think?
You see them?
I think it's the opposite. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. It could be depending on how tall the corn's cut too.
Right.
That's true too.
How tall the stalks are off the ground.
Yeah, that is true.
For a tom, it might be a visual thing. I'm not sure.
I mean, when it's strutting too, it's hitting them stalks.
Right.
But if you've seen them in cornfields and it's a visual thing, it's so hard to say. I've been asking this question to so many different people, just trying to figure out what they thought about it, because these properties that I'm getting, I'm picking them up 2-3 years. I'll admit I'm not doing as much research on that property as I should be, which I feel like is a huge thing. I'll go out and roost them or whatever, but I don't know why they're pitching down this way or that way, or is there a meadow in that woods, or what's going on? I don't know, which I should.
Yeah,
but like I said,
that would help a lot.
Well, yeah, for sure. But like I don't. Sometimes you see them all the time out in the beans, like you said, or sometimes you see them all the time out in the corn. There's that one cornfield that there's 30 turkeys in all year round, and why is that? I
mean, it could depend on the weather or whatever. I mean,
I
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. That was my little tangent right there. But when you guys are going out, you guys roosting birds every night before you go out? Obviously, it would be a huge help.
Like usually. Around home, we do.
Not on the road, though?
You try to, but it's
I mean, you usually find hour or two before dark, but you don't go in and roost and see where they're roosting at.
Yeah, you got a really good chance at blowing them off the roost. Like, because we hunt mainly, like, big timber sections.
Okay.
So if you're just blowing through the woods, there's
a
pretty good chance you're going to bust them out.
Yeah.
Right.
You're better off just if you know there's birds in the area, just sit away from where you think they are, hear them, and then move in after that.
Now, who's calling out of you two? Both of you guys call pretty good?
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Oh, not as good as so and so. If you know.
I know.
No. No, because that's always a thing too. Like I try to set up behind the people, or like if somebody else is shooting, set up behind. Or
Right.
you guys running decoys out there too?
Never.
No decoys.
Tanner does a little bit.
No, I didn't kill a bird over decoys.
Is it a dive bomb decoy?
No, sir.
I'm trying to get him out of the decoy.
One-
I didn't
So
kill a
what?
bird this year over a decoy.
That's good. That's good.
Now, is that a visual thing you think of, like with them in the woods, having them kind of be curious more than anything?
It's just I guess it goes back to outsmarting them thing for me.
Okay.
I think your decoy plays too much of a. I think it's too much of a
Advantage.
crutch.
Or crutch. Yeah.
It's I would
A
I would
crutch and a pinpoint, I'll say.
I would consider a turkey decoy to be about like a crossbow in the deer hunting world to me.
Well, you just kind of put the dagger in me because I might be using a crossbow this year, and I definitely use turkey decoys. So
It's all right.
I think we're gonna end this right now, guys. It was nice for you to drive up an hour and a half, but yeah. So
You can kill them how you want, but
my
that's how I
confidence
kill
went
'em.
way down.
Sorry.
No. Deer hunting. Like I said, I haven't deer hunted in 6 years, and I have some time to shoot my bow, but it's like with those deer out there, that I have, it's like
Right. You're
I'm
gonna
not
want
gonna
to
jump
kill 'em.
out there
Right.
and do
Right.
it unethical, I guess you want to
Right.
say.
And then obviously you're busy all of September, the
Right.
full month before
It's
season
coming.
opens.
It's
so
common. I think I don't want to, but I know I need to. I'm probably gonna jump up tomorrow morning and go scout.
Yeah.
For
I
sure,
have
I
to.
will be too.
I have to. But like I said, I'm really wanting to get on a good pigeon hunt before season kicks off. Get the guys out there. We got brush and blinds still and everything.
Yeah.
Brush and blinds and everything. I'm trying to think. I had some other turkey questions for you guys. Did I ask you guys? I'm like blanking.
Should have written
hard.
them down.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't going to. Did I ask you why you chose different states? Because that was a big question. Man. Why did you choose? I know you said the research behind,
Right.
but
Right.
why?
Yeah, we went off on a different.
Yeah. Why? What state and what made you go out
Well,
on other spots?
originally, it's mainly because, well, now you can only kill one turkey in Ohio, but it used to be two, and then you could kill your one in Michigan.
That's
So
why I said it was a dumb question because I knew it was going to be that answer.
So 3 turkeys a year just wasn't really doing it for me.
Right.
And then when I was getting my 3 turkeys, and then I was taking buddies out, and kind of goes back to they weren't really appreciating it and the bird enough as much as
I hate that, man.
what I
all the
thought they
time
should.
and effort,
Right.
And then
All the
there's,
time
like,
scouting, putting in, and
Yeah.
they
I
just like,
I just
whatever.
brought you to this bird, did all this work for you, woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you kill them, and you're like, oh, that was pretty cool.
I don't think people realize like what a turkey
Right. No, they
needs,
don't.
or like what it actually like takes to kill a turkey.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
they just don't realize that, and like I hear it gobble in the morning, and I'm set. I don't even need to pull the trigger. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
You know what
Turkey
I mean?
hunting is the only thing that I'm not bummed about if I don't kill one.
It's just so nice to be up there out there in the morning, and deer, sunrise, all that nitty gritty stuff, whatever. But like them gobbles and hearing them pitch off the roost or whatever it is, it's just like I could sit out there all day. Besides mosquitoes, mosquitoes suck.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Oh yeah.
Those absolutely blow.
But mainly it was just about getting more opportunities in the year because I mean when you think about it, a guy that stays in Michigan or a guy that stays in Ohio, you're getting one bird a year if you just hunt by yourself.
Right.
So it's gonna take you 20 years to like really get it. In 20 years, you just killed 20 birds.
20 birds, right?
But if you travel to 7-8 states a year,
you could shoot.
you kill
birds in a
20
year.
birds in 2 years.
Right.
Years, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not a math major, right?
That's all right. But it's just the more you're out there, the quicker you can learn about them.
Yeah.
The more experiences you have, the more you can learn from each time.
Right.
Even if you don't kill one, you're still going to learn
Right.
something from each
Yeah.
hunt.
Well, and especially like on terrain though, too. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Like you get on a spot, like I said, like that spot that I have that just rolling hills, basically. It's got to be like a spot where you guys hunt in a different state, and it's like, all right, maybe the bird is gonna be doing this because, I mean, obviously they're different birds, but like you have a better idea of what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, dude, I think it was Vermont. You guys took that picture in.
With the waterfall.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
That was.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, too bad I killed a Jake that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I mean, I shot it. I was laying on a rock that day, a huge rock. It was probably 10 by 20 feet long, a giant rock. Laying on top of it, and I shot this bird, I don't know, 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't. See, that's the thing, though. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a Jake, whatever it is, but it's like, you just had a sick moment.
Right.
It was a whole different memory. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah, the thing about that bird was, Brad was behind me calling me.
I was
the
doing
bird.
fucking circles behind
Yeah.
him.
Oh, man.
And this Jake, he was way up on this hill, and I don't think Brad knew at the time, but in front of me there was a huge ravine, and when it was gobbling, it sounded just like a longbeard.
Mm-hmm.
Until I seen it come up over this ravine and strutting. It was a
You
Jake,
see the
full
tail.
strut. I could see the tail. I'm like, oh, dude, this is a Jake. I don't know if I'm going to shoot him. Brad's like, you're going to shoot a Jake. It's the second day we're here. We're going to a different state. And I was watching the whole time coming in. I'm like, it was behind this pine tree, like this open trail, and it finally gave me the shot. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to shoot. I'll go to a different state.
Well, yeah, but like I said, though, like the view, the
Right.
moment.
He
Yeah.
did it right.
Right.
Exactly. And that's
Well,
my biggest thing. Is if
The
they're
thing
doing
about
it
that
right-
was, too, I also missed the time, I don't know, 25 minutes before that,
Oh,
too.
man.
At a different place.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was already annoyed. So like,
Yeah.
let's fucking kill something.
Well, yeah,
Right.
yeah. It was like, I don't know, 35, 40 yards. I probably should have shot it. And it ended up coming up on this, like a rock cliff above me. And I said, when it gets to this tree, I'm going to shoot it. Well, the two of them came in, got right to that tree. I didn't have a shot when they up walking away. And I got real soft on it. And I'm calling it back towards the right. And I didn't shoot and miss it. And it flew away. And I thought I hit it. But then I was like, screw it. I ain't looking for it.
That's why I had a bird. I think it was like, when was this? It was the first week of season. So it was cold out. It was raining a little bit. Need one?
Yeah.
2-second pause here.
Thank you.
And so we had this bird. It was just me out there, actually, because I was out there like every day, morning and night, because I took like the first week off of work or whatever. Get out there, and I seen this bird the week before. I'm like, man, he's a pretty good bird. Well, he comes out, and it almost felt like deer hunting, so I almost didn't even shoot him. I almost just like sat there and watched him because he wasn't really gobbling. He walked in with the hens, wasn't really fired up. It's an afternoon bird. Like I feel like it's hard to find those hammering birds in the afternoon. Yeah. But
when you find them,
when you find them, they're fired up, man.
Right.
Fired
but
up.
finding that one is also very difficult. But he come in, he was putting around like in front. I shouldn't even say putting. He was just like feeding in front of me with the hens and stuff, and I had him gobbling. And I guess here's another question. As I'm thinking of this, do you think a turkey can choose how loud or soft his gobble is?
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, because this bird is 40 yards from me. I can visually see him gobbling, but I could barely hear him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barely hear him. In that woods there, that property alone, we never hear him gobbling. Besides, it sounds like way off in the distance, and I don't know. It's that bird right there. Actually, I shot. There's a bird in the room here. That bird I shot there at that property had no spurs on that time.
Really?
No spurs at all.
That's crazy.
Just clean.
I've seen those on Instagram, but
Clean.
never in person.
Yeah,
That's
I'll have
wild.
to show you a picture of it. It was just clean, straight down the leg, full fan, obviously. You could see beard on him. You come in with me and my dad doubled up on one. His bird had like 1.5 inch spurs on it.
Really?
Like, nuts. But anyway, that bird came in, gobbling like you said. I could barely hear him. He was a good bird. I was like, I'm just going to pull the trigger. I'll be done. Like, all this work I've done all year, I just won't have to worry about it anymore. I'm going to kill it. Which I'm glad I did because, like, thinking of it now, like, it wasn't for the right reason. It was doing it just to kill it because then the stress is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I ended up missing it. And it was almost like I wasn't even upset about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you can still get to hunt.
Right.
Yeah, right. But I didn't appreciate him like I did the bird that I actually shot.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't worked up enough to justify
it. The bird that I shot, I texted my dad, I think at, I don't know, 5 or whatever it was, and I got out there, and we sat out there the day before, and it was the same field that me and my sister walked through that ditch, right underneath that culvert. All of a sudden, so we had 3 birds out there the day before. My dad it was off for like 2 months. He goes back to work the next day after me and him hunted that field the day before. I go out there by myself. I go, yeah, hopefully I'm done by 7. I'm out of here and good to go. 6 o'clock, 6:05 or something like that rolls around. 3 birds pitch down. A 4th bird pitches down but stays way off. All of them are strutters. All 4 of them come barreling into the decoys. While my dad's at work for the first time in 2 months.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I blast him. The 3 other ones are standing right in the
Yeah.
decoys. I'm like, oh my God, that just happened. And I had to sit there for like 5 minutes trying to pick like which one and like trying to get a clear shot on them because like you said, like, one bird stayed.
Right.
And ended up being a double bearded bird, which was my first double beard, which is sweet. But like I said, that going back to that bird that I missed, it was like I'm glad I did just because I wasn't fired up and he wasn't gobbling like I wanted him to.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Yeah.
If you killed that bird, you would have forgot about him in 2 years.
Exactly.
If that long.
Right. I wouldn't have had the stories that I was just telling you guys before this about chasing that same bird because I knew he was double bearded.
Mm-hmm.
When I seen him one day on the other side of the road, like I said, he was on one side and I would hop on the other side of the fence line and try to cut him off. Well, he would hop on the other side of the road. I'd go to the other side and he'd hop back. It was just a mess. But I knew he was double bearded, so when I shot him, it was just a whole different feeling. You know what I mean? It was nuts.
Yeah, there's so many birds I've shot, like, as soon as they get down off the roost or something along those lines of the way you were just describing, and you really got to think about them to even be able to remember them.
Yes, for sure.
The ones that are hardest are the ones you can remember.
Like that one you shot last year with that stick through its wing.
Yeah,
That was
really?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he had
Tell me about
he had a
that.
stick broken off, like how they have the webbing in their wings.
Yeah.
There was a stick literally broken off in there, and it was just living in its fucking wing.
It was probably
Really?
an inch and a half thick by, I don't know, 2 inches.
This
It was
a full ass stick.
a big stick.
I'll tell you what, though. I've seen some birds roost up this year, and turkeys are some of the most, like, unagile birds.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
seeing them roost up and falling out of a limb, like, landing up, it's like, what do you guys... Don't you do this for a living? Like, fly up into a tree every night? Like, what is going on? It's
Well,
like,
they get on the limbs and they jump around. They might land on that
That
small
too,
limb, and
yeah.
then the weight can't hold them.
yeah, that
The limb
too.
can't hold them.
Which is crazy. A 20-pound bird, we'll say, 20 plus, whatever, sitting on this little tiny limb. It's like, oh, yeah, you guys are fine up there.
When we were in New Hampshire, there was this one roost that we found literally just by accident. We were just driving down the roads and just owl hooting right before dark just to see if we can locate some. And I hopped out and owl hooted right there, and they gobbled literally like 15 yards away.
That's crazy.
And I was like, holy shit. And
Don't breathe.
we looked up.
Yeah.
We looked up, and they were just roosted right, like literally above the road.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the woods are so thick, they would use the road as like a runway to get up into the trees to make it easier. And then in the mornings, they would land right directly on the road. And
Really?
then walk up the road to the top of the hills and then disperse from there.
wow. Wow.
That way, it was just easier for them to get up in the
Right,
tree and not
right.
have to bust through so many limbs.
That's nuts. So, I mean, are you guys hunting the same states every year? then?
No.
Different states every year.
Yeah. The only states I re-hunt are Michigan and Ohio.
Wow, okay. It's just crazy that, I guess that's a whole different thing, too, where, like, for me, and it sounds like you guys, like, the small things that you look at, like,
Oh, yeah.
just like a goose feed or whatever, like, you're looking at the, like, how they are, how many birds are there, you know, I always say, whether it be true or not, up here we hunt, like, 2 different birds, I feel like, 2 different types of Canada's, I feel like. You got the smaller ones that are feeding right on top of each other, and then you got your graders that are more spread out. You might have a lot of them, but they're more spread out, and they don't want to be right next to each other. So what birds are you hunting that day? You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I said, I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like sometimes, because some of the birds that we're shooting, they're tiny.
Right.
Not cackler-sized birds, but they're tiny
small,
geese, and they're feeding right on top of each other and wanting in the decoys. The graders, they want those pockets.
Right.
They want, you know, kind of suck in a little bit more, but have their distance. But the smaller things, even in turkey hunting, like, you know, walking in or what the bird sounds like and roosting them, I mean, that's a huge thing that a lot of people overlook and don't pay attention to it.
Right.
That could be like the whole...
That's the difference between killing a bird and not killing.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the difference between getting lucky and killing one bird a year and killing many birds a year.
Yeah, no, for sure. What kind of got you guys into like your calling? Like, I mean, you guys use mouth calls, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all I use is diaphragms, mouth yelp person, and then I got a what is it? It's not glass.
Slate.
It's a pot call, but it's
I know what you're talking about.
It's a ceramic.
Yeah.
It's a ceramic call. But that's just in case it's rainy or.
I used to use a slate call just because it was a little softer. You get them in, but.
I like that for like. I'll use that a lot for my locator, like to locate the birds. Like there was a lot of putts through the woods, especially depending on what terrain I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I got those deep valleys, I'll use that for it to spread out because until last year I wasn't a good putter on the diaphragm calls,
Right.
which turkey calling. I had a buddy that was trying to learn a couple different things, and he's throwing up because he's gagging on the call in his mouth. You know what I mean? So
cut
it's
him down.
Yeah, you know, it's I don't know. That's a whole different thing. Like, you know, people have trouble with their goose calls or the duck calls or whatever it is, and
You just gotta put the time in.
right.
Yeah, I haven't shot a bird or called a bird in with anything other than diaphragm. And
What kind of calls you guys
long
like?
time.
What company do you guys use?
I use everything. Like I go to the NWTF convention.
Oh, okay. How is that? I've always wanted to go.
It's crazy.
Is it?
Yeah. If you want to go, you should go.
I definitely want to go.
It is sweet down there.
Because that's in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to go, man.
Yeah, we're staying in the Opryland this year. So
Are you?
Cool. Yeah, because it's right there in the Opryland like convention center or whatever. So we're just staying right there in the hotel. That way we don't have to.
Have you ever been there? It's a Grand Ole Opry Hotel, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Just like inside. I've never been inside the hotel
rooms.
rooms.
Oh my god, dude. It's
Pretty
insane.
Nice. Really?
Like there's like I think there's 4 different. I could be way off on this too, but there's like 4 different sections.
Mm-hmm.
One's like the Italy vibe where they got like little boats going through canals.
Yeah.
In there.
Oh
There's,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Carp and stuff, which
Yeah.
you probably end up shooting.
Yeah.
Some. And you know, they're going through, and then one's like a whole garden section,
Yeah.
and there's rooms overlook. It's
Yeah. It's like a rainforest in there.
Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, that's definitely on like the bucket list of going there for
Yeah.
sure.
It's really sweet.
And just meeting the people there as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you know like any of the callers or anybody that's
Right.
got like anybody big in the industry, you're gonna see
Right.
everybody there.
How are most of the guys that you run into there? The bigger name guys.
Oh, they're all cool.
That's what I feel.
I mean,
like, yeah.
yeah. You'll see like some of the guys, like the hunting public guys, they'll have.
I was about to ask you about that. But go ahead.
Fuck them guys. But,
Really?
oh yeah.
So I've heard this a lot on different things. Do you think they're ruining the public land? in the
Without
country?
a doubt.
Because
Without
I
a
heard
doubt.
that you got these guys that have been hunting this land religiously for 20, 30 years in their family that nobody else used to know about. I'm not gonna lie, I like watching it for informational purposes.
Right,
Their videos. I think Aaron is one of like the smartest guys for bird hunting.
he's a good hunter. Don't get me wrong; they're all good hunters for the most
right.
part. But just the way they do things, I mean, they hunt the way I hunt, just without decoys and everything like that.
Yeah.
But the way they get paid off to advertise for states and everything like that, and tell you what states are going to. That kind of turns me off a bit there.
I mean, we had one guy last year that reaped a bird off us, and then he came up, had a hunt in public sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
really?
there's a pretty good chance if you see somebody do something really stupid in the woods, they're probably going to have either a hunting public sticker on their truck, or they're going to have some sort of clothing that says a hunting public on them. I guarantee it.
Oh, I'm sure. But like I was saying, like these guys are hunting 30 years, and this wasn't all of a sudden all like the convoys coming in.
Everybody watched that video and was like, oh, this is where they're at, let's just go there.
Right.
Spot.
And what I don't get is they'll put like hints in their videos of where they're at.
Yeah.
They'll show
like little landmarks, and
right?
Stuff. Those internet scouters, they know where it's.
Which I don't get, because I know these guys are putting this much time into editing their videos. You're intentionally putting that landmark in that video for hundreds of thousands of people to see.
Yeah.
That's an issue for me.
Like I said, I think the only ones that I really enjoy watching, I guess, is the Aaron guy, because he's got a lot of informational stuff about like either the burns or the hardwoods or how much like big like the big timbers, like how many trees you should have, like how much like the canopy lights shining down, like stuff like that. I find that super like informing. But and then there's the other guy
with the long hair.
No, not him. He's a younger dude. I forget his name.
Ted.
Maybe it is Ted.
Short guy.
Yeah.
Brown hair.
Is he cool? Is he bad? Should I not say that?
I mean, they're all okay.
Right.
A couple of my buddies know Zach, the one with the long hair. They know him pretty personally, and a couple of their videographers they know personally. Which I mean, they're all
Texas guy seems cool.
They're good guys.
Yeah,
but it's just they're about that money.
All right, we just took a little piss break, but I don't even know. Oh, hunting public, right?
Yep.
How big of douchebags they are, this, that, and the other, and don't follow them, and right?
That's right.
That was your words, not mine.
That's it. That's my words. You can write
it
it
was
down.
not me.
Bradley's words.
Yeah, Brad, because it was me.
Yeah. I'll stand by those words.
No, I did hear some like reviews on that though, and I was just kind of curious on, what you guys thought about it with jumping states and stuff like that.
The main thing is that they're taking money, like thousands and thousands and thousands from, like, I know for sure Tennessee and Georgia.
Really?
They were taking like a lot of money from them to be like, oh, hey, go.
Now, is that through the state?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
The DNR was paying them to say, hey, go to Tennessee or go to Georgia and go, it's awesome here.
Basically, and wanted more guys come hunt.
Yeah, they want more.
Tags,
right.
Spend more money.
Yeah.
Right.
Which Tennessee is mainly just trying to get more guys there, and it fucking worked. Because if you go to Tennessee now,
packed.
It's horrible. Yeah.
I remember going a couple years ago, and there's so many birds. I didn't hunt there; I just was traveling through, but so many birds there. But now there's probably, obviously, you said.
I think it was like. I think they had a 4 or 5. I think it was a 4 bird bag limit. I think they're down to like 2 or 3 now.
Wow.
And that's after they paid the hunting public to tell everybody to come here.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's so
you
already know your birds, right? Exactly.
Because like the state's paying people to go, like for them to promote it.
But
then you're gonna dumb down the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they thought there were so many birds there that not many guys are gonna come in, but then they.
Do you think that's from like hunting, not hunting, like crop damages and stuff like that?
What do you mean?
Like CRP and shit going away, or?
Well, there's a lot of farmers. I mean, those turkeys kind of honestly tear up a lot of agriculture wise in the springtime while they're growing. I mean, do you think it was like something like just farmers like complaining about that kind of stuff?
No, it's just the Tennessee
high population, probably insurance companies like deer.
It's just Tennessee trying to get more $350 tags sold.
Holy smokes, that's what it was?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the 300s to go hunt a turkey there.
Holy smokes.
I haven't hunted there yet, but that's what I hear. Somewhere in the 3s.
Wow.
Yeah. Kentucky's pretty expensive too. I think Kentucky I went there last year and it was like $230, $250, something like that to hunt there. But Kentucky you get deer permits with it, which I'll never go down there to deer hunt, but
Kentucky's got some big deer. I feel like
they're
just big rack, small body. I feel like kind of because of the mountain deer, basically.
The only reason I would go to Kentucky is their season opens like September 1st or something, something like that.
So you guys going to Florida then?
Nope, not yet.
Because what do they have down there? They got
Osceolas down there.
But there's another one in the southern part of Florida.
That's Osceola.
Then what's in the northern part?
Or easterns.
Okay.
There's
the Osceolas are more black, right?
Yeah, their wings are more black.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, Osceolas are in like the southern 3/4 of Florida.
Okay. I gotcha. Out of every state that you've hunted so far, what would you say your top ones are? Or top one is?
I would say like for scenery wise, I'd say Wyoming. Probably bird wise. I mean, honestly, Michigan is crazy for turkeys. Like
it is. We'll throw that out there.
But Montana is pretty wild.
Yeah,
I was
Michigan's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody come here now.
Yeah.
Hunting Public Part 2. Here we go.
That's
Good.
Brad. He's talking shit, and he's over here giving away
Yeah.
everything.
Good luck. There's not very much state land down here.
There's really not. And I always tell people that too, with like even like the waterfowl aspect of it. Every other state, you feel like there's more like
not refugees.
Definitely not that, but there is kind of a lot. But
Around here, there is.
Yeah. But with all that kind of stuff, though, I mean, like, there's not many like just pockets where you can't hunt. Like everybody's shooting up the roost everywhere.
Right.
It seems like, and it kind of sucks compared to other states.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you, old Goldie?
What?
What's your favorite state?
I mean, I haven't really been to that many. I only met Brad probably a year ago. Brad, maybe over a year ago.
Well, so you guys already hunted that many times.
Oh no, just this year that I've hunted with him.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of times though this year.
Wow.
That's a lot of stinky feet already.
That's we're main partners, hunting partners.
Right.
Actually, probably the prettiest was probably Vermont.
Vermont was pretty.
Or Nebraska when I went there with him and my brother. He's out there in the Air Force. So
Okay.
I ended up calling in one for him, and that was a pretty crazy hunt there.
That's probably a
It was a
very
really
memorable.
Yeah. Very
Which that goes back to the hunting public.
What's that now? Like how great Michigan is at birds.
The hunting public talked about how good Nebraska is and shit, and now they got a 10,000 non-resident cap.
Yeah.
Really?
Changed it.
Yeah.
You got a draw tag for that.
Yeah. So
Holy
now
smokes.
Nebraska's draw, Kansas's draw.
Mm.
Like it's going downhill fast. So like if you're trying to kill birds in states, you need to.
I mean, because Nebraska, you kill 3 different type species there, right?
Yeah, you
4?
can. Yeah.
3, 4.
Yeah, because it's so close on the west side, right?
You can kill Merriams, you can kill Easterns and Rios.
Rios, right?
All in one state.
Yeah.
And they got a 3-bird limit.
What's your favorite birds to shoot?
Prettiest that I've shot is a Merriams
Yeah.
for sure, but Easterns are definitely the best in my opinion.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Any want or need to go down to Mexico and shoot one of them bad boys?
I do, but I just don't want to go to Mexico.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That's the only thing.
I don't blame you.
Like, because I listen to a lot of guys and talk to a lot of guys that go like
Them hooks
to
on them
Mexico.
bad boys, though.
Yeah. Like, you got the Goulds, which are, like, in the main, like, bad Mexico, like, old Mexico.
Oh.
And that's, like, you'll get, like, the guides tell you not to even bring your guns and shit. Like, they'll give you everything. Like, just don't even bring anything other than
Really?
your clothes. Yeah. And,
Ain't much state land on there.
no. And, I guess the federalities aren't much better than like the cartel.
Oh, they're
down
all
there.
part of it.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's all like everybody's so fucking corrupt down
You
there.
better
It's
watch your
horrible.
back tonight because they'll be on you tonight.
Yeah. But
They're listening to us right now.
yeah, and then you got the oscillated down in the Yucatan Peninsula, but those are sweet too, but they're also very pricey to go hunt.
Yeah.
So
What about you? Favorite bird? Kind of same thing, Marian's?
Mm-hmm.
You're a peacock, aren't you?
Pretty sweet.
Not a peacock.
No, it would have been pretty sweet to mix a peacock with an Eastern or something. I know down in West Virginia they do have those.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because I got a bunch of peacocks running around. I almost hit them every single time I'm on the road scouting and stuff, and there's a ton of them out there.
Get those crossbreed and it's crazy.
Oh, dude, I heard a guy ran one over and ate it one time. He said it was pretty good.
I could imagine.
Don't say that's a DNR, but I heard that.
Could you imagine though mixing a peacock with a
The
turkey?
fan would
and
be
the-
as big as this wall.
Well,
right
that's
here.
the thing because I've seen guys shoot before, and the tail fan is usually like a regular turkey. But then, could you imagine like a regular
The coloring wise,
the color, yeah.
right.
Yeah. Or even have a huge tail fan.
Might as well
like
be
a
on
peacock.
shrooms and go hunting, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jeez, that would be gnarly. Favorite story or hunting that kind of stands out for you guys? I know you said something about your brother and stuff like that, but what would be your top story for out there?
For this
For
year.
this
or what?
year?
No, not this year. Just in general, like your turkey hunting wise.
That's
I
pretty.
know there's a
difficult.
lot for you guys.
My favorite is probably with my brother. We had a 2-hour delay one time. I was like, I don't know, 16, 17. You're not allowed to hunt until you're by yourself until you're 18, right? I don't know.
something like that.
Or it's
probably.
16,
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
It could be 16. It doesn't really matter.
I ended up going and scouting these birds, and I knew we had 2 hours later tomorrow. I'm like, we're going to hunt these birds in the morning. And I watched these 4 longbeards go up and flap and roost with these 2 hens. And they went into this woods, and there was this fence around the edge, and you go into a wheat field or whatever. And there's one little hole in this fence, and I'm like, dude, these birds are going to fly down this woods and come right out of this fence. And this one I was using decoys or whatever. Me and my brother were sitting there, and they didn't gobble a single time all morning until they hit the ground. And this one I was using a slate call. And I was calling these 2 hens in. Well, there's this deer trail behind me on the backside of this fence. We were sitting up on this fence line, and they were gobbling. These hens up coming in to the decoys or whatever, and these 4 longbeards were behind us, and I could hear them spitting and drumming. And this deer trail, after we shot these birds, we looked back, and this deer trail was like 5 yards behind us. And they walked right in this deer trail. And the hens got right to the decoys, and I think the longbeards, I'm seeing these decoys. And as soon as I seen that, they were hammered gobbling. And I told Owen, my brother next to me, I'm like, dude, get ready. They're right here.
Oh, it's the best feeling ever.
And yeah, they were 5 yards right behind us, just hammering. And then coming out, I don't know, 10 yards through this little pocket hole where the fence was cut, and they come in the decoys and just beating the shit out of these decoys. And I told him, I said, I'm shooting the biggest one. So I said, I am shooting the one, and he shoots, misses. And the other 3 are just sitting there, didn't know what happened. Yeah, I'm shooting the other one. And whatever. Well, my neighbor, he never killed a bird before. I told him, I said, dude, come hunt with us. We got 4 longbeards. I roost them, whatever. I know wherever they're coming out. I said, come hunt with us. You'll be done by 7:30 at least, because he had to work at 8. He's like, oh, I don't know. I can't be late for work, whatever. Well,
Can't be late for my morning coffee.
I sent him a video at like 7:06 of 2 longbeards dead. I said, oh, we called 4 in, and then you aren't here, or whatever, dude.
How was your morning shit, bud?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
But yeah, probably that one or the one out in Nebraska this year is probably one of the most memorable ones.
I feel like that's the most memorable ones, like, because it's obviously it's like saying it twice like that. It's the one you care for the most is like the most like you and your brother, or like me and my dad doubling up, or stuff like that. Like scenery is one thing, yeah,
right.
But like those hunts that your brother's in the Air Force doesn't get to hunt a lot anymore. I'm going to assume. So obviously that's a whole different thing. But and that also builds a passion for you for like doing what you do almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can break it down into like what's the prettiest one you ever killed?
Right.
What's the hardest one you ever killed? What's the hardest charging one you ever killed?
Like they're all meaningful, but like there's that one that tops it off, and something like that obviously is going to top off any other one.
To me, it's the tough ones. Those are the ones that I remember the most.
Tough as in like just the old birds that are just stubborn.
Old.
Don't want to come in or hang up.
I love when they know something's not right, but you can just talk to them enough. This is why I also like just calling and not using decoys, because it's 100% because the way you were yelping or the way you were talking to them, and that's what really gets me. Yeah,
that's. I love the stubborn birds and the chasing of those stubborn birds. Like me and my sister chased them one day. Same feel. They just back and forth, trying to get in front of them, and they do something different and do something. It was one of those things. I mean, we didn't kill them, but like that's why you keep going out there and doing what you love. Right. That's why you love it. You know what I mean? Like that vocalization, the getting there early, seeing everything wake up in the morning, and like I said before, the small detailed stuff is what really separates the men from the boys, kind of thing.
100%.
Yeah, like that day, where was it? Where were we at when you called him back across the road?
That was New York. That was a good one.
Tell me about that
one. Well, actually, Tanner got the perm for this spot, which I can't believe he did, because this shit was so posted, it looked like a refuge in there.
Every like 10 yards.
It was ridiculous. But there was 2 longbeards, some jakes, and some hens out there. We saw the evening before, which I don't know if you could hunt in the evenings in New York or not. I can't fucking remember, but I was like, well, we're probably not going to get permission for this, but we looked it up on Onyx, and Tanner went up and talked, and dude ended up being super cool, I guess. And gave us permission, so we headed in there in the morning and
like fucking 3:30 in the morning.
Like early.
Because they roosted right on the edge, dude.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. That's those mornings that you wake up like 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
Like shit.
Yeah.
We gotta run right now.
We watched them all fly into trees. Like we knew which trees the toms were in and which trees the hens were in. Like we knew everything about these birds. And I mean, as much as you can with watching them for one afternoon. Right. And so we set up, and we're 100 yards from them, probably 125 yards from them on the roost. And they all pitch down, and I mean, they are hand up, like all the way hand up. So they really don't care.
Earlier in the year, then?
Not.
What? This was probably the first
mid-May.
weekend.
Yeah, it's
opener.
Yeah, it's probably the beginning of May.
I mean, they were probably hand up pretty.
Yeah, they were
pretty tight then.
Especially with how far north we are.
Right.
So these birds are working around. They're messing around with the hens and everything, and they work away. They work over to a new field, and we're like, well, shit, we're probably out of the game now. And you hear them kind of moseying around, fighting and shit over there, and then all of a sudden you see the toms come back into our field, and they go all the way across the road, like a ways across the road. And we had, 5 or 6 jakes probably.
Yeah, right
and
there.
We could have killed them, and I was like...
Brad's like, oh, let me just shoot that.
I mean, we're in New York. We're a long ways from
Dude, it's like 25 minutes into the hunt. Yeah. We got a day or two. Do not bust this out of here and kill these jakes.
Yeah.
You get a touch in Pennsylvania, too, right? Is that what you just said?
Sure, yeah. And so Tanner talks me down from killing these jakes, and toms are across the road just gobbling. At this point, they lost all their hens, and I was like, well, we're kind of screwed now, because I didn't think there was any way we were calling them back across the road where they already came from.
Right.
So we move up to this. There's a power line right in the middle, so there's a big island in the middle of this field, probably 10 yards by 10 yards, and we hide in that, which is just silly to try to call a bird
silly
to.
Spots, man. Yeah. That's what tricks them.
Yeah. And we're yelping at them, and just your basic yelps and putts and shit like that and everything. And they were gobbling at us and everything. No, actually, I'm good. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to try something. And I fight purr at them for like probably 15 seconds, and all of a sudden they just fucking lose their minds. And then all of a sudden you just hear them running, just gobbling at us. And all of a sudden they're across the road, and they're on the opposite side of this little island of us. And I was like, all right, they're going to pop out right here. So I blast mine as soon as he pops out, and mine's laying on the ground, and the other Tom, his brother, was standing right over him about to beat his ass. And I was like, kill him. And Tanner smoked his, and there we go. We got a double in New York.
Them doubles are something different, though, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're something different.
I just could not believe I got him back across that road the way we did.
And that, too, I mean, the road birds, I mean, how many times have you guys hunted out there, and not just in that specific spot, but I always get them so fired up across the road, but it always seems like the birds on my side just shut right up. Yeah, they never want to cross over, and it's just whatever.
Right.
What's your guys' biggest tip on turkey hunting?
My biggest tip, the way I hunt them, is
obviously scouting is, you know.
My biggest is probably set up to kill them, not set up to see them. That's probably the biggest thing in setup to me. Like, to me, turkey hunting is almost 90% an audible thing, not visual to me.
Now, does that come with saying like your hide wise, like set up the hide and make him like?
As soon as I can see the bird, I want to be able to kill him.
Okay.
Like, I don't want that bird. I don't want to see him at 100 yards or 50 yards. I want to see him at 20, 25 yards the very first time he pops his head over a hill or through a thicket, and that's going to be it.
I mean, if you're calling out a bird, if he's going to see you I mean, if you can see him, he's gonna see you.
Right.
He's looking for
100%.
a hen the whole time. If
Right.
there's no hen, I mean, he ain't gonna.
He knows where there's that.
Yeah.
Well,
he knows
just
there's
going back
supposed
to
be a hen.
decoy wise, I always been told like with decoy, you set up a decoy, you're almost on that pinpoint. Like the obviously people are setting their decoys up like right in line with them, or like a spot
Right,
where
yep.
it's like the best spot to kill. Like I said, I use my decoys, whatever, but
That's
like
fine.
I always put them like past us,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like
Off to the side where you
it'd be
think
a
that they're coming.
quartering shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're not coming in on a line; they're coming in and passing us to get to that
Right.
decoy. You know, obviously a turkey's going to do what it's going to do, so it might come
Right, you never know.
head on. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be hiding a little bit better, and
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth.
You basically, most of the places I'm hunting have hills in them, so you're going to be setting up on the backside of the hill where you think he's going to come, or the backside of a bench.
So for a field that has a hill on it, or ridges, say that there's hardwoods on the bottom, and then you got a field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you setting up on that one?
In the woods. Get him in the woods.
You'd rather have them in the woods?
100%.
Now, is that just a personal thing, or is that more of an efficient thing?
It's an efficiency thing and a personal thing.
You think?
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
If without decoys, 100%.
Without decoys, yeah.
I mean,
But-
decoys for sure. I mean, you just
I
want to
mean,
be
it
sitting.
depends where the woods is at compared to the field too.
Well, see, there I feel like it depends on where they're roosted at that point. They're roosted mostly on those ridges,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So they have two choices. They're going to go to the middle of the field for safety wise, or they're pitching down into the woods. I feel like, and I could be wrong on that, but I feel like come later in the springtime, they can't really see the ground as good.
Mm-hmm.
Your odds of them pitching into that field is a lot better than
Oh, yeah.
pitching down.
The thicker the woods gets, the
Right.
higher chance of you.
Well, you
got-
just said it yourself. They just pitched on a road because it was the best
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
land,
Yep. Yep, the thicker it gets, the better chance you need to be in an opening.
And I feel like that's a big thing too, which I learned this year. Which I've turkey hunted for a few years, but it's always in the fields and tree lines,
Mhm.
and it's not like what you guys are doing. But we dabble a little bit in getting down in towards the roost. Me and my sister did, and we were doing it the smart way. We were finding like deer runs
Mm-hmm.
to walk in
Yep.
and try to get in close. Don't walk right through the middle of the woods.
Oh,
Find them if you got to go a little bit out of your way.
Oh, yeah.
Go a little bit out of your way.
Out of the way and quieter.
Yeah.
Right, right. I mean, and if you do your research on those fields, you'll know that deer run will pop out right where you
exactly.
want it to, and it's that much quieter instead of just cutting through
Yeah.
and making a bunch of noise.
I'll
'cause-
take my shoes off and everything when I'm on a bird.
Oh, I feel like you take your pants off for a bird.
Oh, I would.
Yeah, knowing you.
I would.
I mean, do what you gotta do. Them Ohio boys. That's kind of weird though. Too up here in Michigan. I mean, we got 3 with you two and Sean last week. I mean, which I don't know when this is gonna drop. So Sean might be a week or 2 behind
Right.
now. But man, that's a lot of Ohioans.
Hey,
in
we
this
might
room.
be trying to take over.
But
if you
you're
know what I
Michigan
mean.
at heart though. So that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
that's right.
That doesn't count. So
yeah.
Tanner, get out. No,
Yeah. He's pretty close to Michigan. He's
Yeah,
like
he's
like
5
5
miles.
he's close enough.
Yeah.
He's close.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you knew the farm that I mentioned that we were gonna go pigeon hunt. So you're probably not far from that, are you? Yeah, we didn't shoot a pigeon after Dustin's little shindig.
Yeah.
We didn't shoot one. I shot a blackbird, I think it was.
Little cowbird.
Yeah, it was
Little
just
starling.
There was like 3 of them flew off the barn, or one of those like the big silos, and
Mhm.
it was like 80 yards up. I'm like, well, let me try it.
They're
You
kind
know,
of
so
getting
then-
they're kind of getting hard to find. Honestly, I don't
Pigeons?
know. Yeah,
You know, I feel that way too because
in my area at least.
no, same here because there was one year we pounded them and we shot 300-400 of them in August in itself, and since then it's been very hard to get on a good feed. I mean,
Yep.
there's been feeds, where we shoot, 30 to 50 maybe,
Right.
but like other than that, like it's getting
It's
tough.
very, very easy to overharvest pigeons.
Yeah,
Like I know when we go and get permission for pigeon spots, we're supposed to be getting all the pigeons out of there because we're trying to
well, they're
kill 'em
shitting
all
on
for the
everything,
farmer.
right?
But farmers aren't listening to this podcast, so I don't really care. But we don't want to get rid of the pigeons. We want the pigeons.
Oh, dude, I tell everybody all the time, like, oh, you pigeon hunting? Like, dude, they decoy just as good, if not better than ducks.
Oh yeah,
100%.
And
they decoy
not to
nice.
not to mention when you start hunting them mid-July when the wheat comes out.
Right.
I mean, that's great training for your dog. But then again,
and just yourself in general.
yeah. But then again, when you're killing them in July and
That's
beginning of August, you got hens sitting on eggs,
Right.
hens feeding chicks.
You ever seen a baby pigeon?
Oh yeah, I used to raise pigeons.
Yeah, last year we caught a couple.
Yeah.
Our dog, pheasant dog, my dad wanted to train them, but they ended up dying.
They ended up dying.
Because they got too hot in this little...
I put them in a blind bag, a banded blind bag. There was like 6 of them in there.
Animal control, please. Yeah, there's a guy from Ohio that put his birds in a blind bag. You might as well put them in a car that's locked while you're walking through the mall.
Yeah, it felt like a sauna in there
Yeah,
when I opened
they
it.
lost 8 pounds and they were only 4 ounces at the time. So you do the math.
Yeah, so that didn't work out that well for us, but
Chef flagged that part too.
yeah, it'll be okay. Yeah. Nobody's soft here. But yeah, the moral of the story is don't over-harvest your pigeons and don't kill them in July.
Don't put them in a blind bag either.
Also, don't put them in a banded blind bag
Yeah.
if you want them to live.
No, I've never seen a baby pigeon. I thought their birds weren't real. You know what I mean?
They're unbelievably ugly.
They're crazy.
Oh, I can
So
believe it.
ugly.
I mean, they got like no feathers.
No
at
feathers.
all. They're just skin, like a hairless cat,
Mhm.
basically.
Oh, one of them
That's what
naked
they
mole
look
rats is what I like to call
head-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I mean, they got huge feet.
And
that's-
beaks,
Huge
and their
feet.
beaks, yeah.
Their beaks are big.
Really?
Like when they come out, their beaks are like the normal size of a big pigeon.
Well, that's the thing too. Like people are like, "Hey, pigeon hunt? You eat them?" I'm like,
I eat the shit out of
some
them.
guys eat them like crazy and stuff.
Mhm.
They're like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "They're grain fed. Like they're
Right.
not like
What's the
they're
difference?
from a big city eating
Right.
needles off the road? Like
Right.
they're
Yeah.
eating grain
Yeah.
and stuff."
It's literally no different than shooting a mourning dove.
Well, for us, we're not allowed up
That
here.
is true. That
So,
is true.
but in comparison, yes.
Right.
Right, in comparison, because it's like I said, they're literally
I mean,
on the
they're-
barns all day.
Right.
They're they're not doing nothing
Yeah, they're just eating the grain piles.
different. Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, that's what's crazy. You guys can't dove hunt up here because that is.
Uncle Ted is trying to pass
That's
it.
because we're in a liberal state.
Yeah, Uncle Ted is trying to pass it for us, and I think he started last year.
I don't know.
talking.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
Well, I started thinking about cranes as well. So I think the cranes is
They tried that a couple of years ago and it
Yeah.
got shot down, didn't
yeah.
it?
So
It should at least be a draw or something.
I'm in the process. Obviously, I can't pick them up.
Hmm.
But in the process right now of actually getting some permits for crop damage because they're
Yeah.
literally destroying some of the farmers'
Oh, I believe it.
fields right now. But I would love to go down to Texas and actually just shoot a pile
Yep,
of them
same,
things.
same.
I would love that.
It'd be awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of getting into the bird hunting wise, which is one of my favorite times of year, which
Mhm.
I love the turkey and stuff. And sometimes there are some days where I feel like I love turkey hunting more than I do waterfowl
Mhm.
because for us, like we're hunting big groups. Like I said, we just had that blind put out there and it's 30
Right.
plus foot. The biggest group of guys that we hunted last year, I think, was 14 guys.
That is a lot of guys.
That's a lot.
We burned them.
Right.
We burned them. I think we shot 46. What was it? 43 mallards, 2 black ducks, and a pintail. 26 Canadas with a band and a snow goose. Burned them. And the only reason why we don't limit out on our ducks was because like we got to like that 30 mark. I was like, everybody stop shooting. We're counting birds right now.
Mhm.
I don't care what flies in front of us. And next thing you know, somebody in the blind's like, pintails, like, shoot that one, dude. I don't care about that one. Shoot that one. So he shot that, and like there's just ducks all around us. I have to show you the video. It's insane. But there's ducks all around us. And they were like 6 people short of like limits. I'm like, here we go again. Let's burn them again, dude. And the DNR rolls up. I'm like, he's a good buddy of ours. He's like, dude, what do you guys have right now?
Right.
Because like, I've seen literally every species like in Michigan right now flying into your guys' spread. Like, can I just see what you guys have? I'm like, Dude, it has been one of those hunts, man. Like you won't forget. It was nuts.
Right.
Absolutely nuts. But for me, I just got into bird hunting 6-7 years ago.
Right.
Which, has obviously gotten to me like to the point for me now where I am like. Bird hunting has gotten me where I am now, which is crazy in that time span where I'm at. When did you guys actually start really getting deep and dirty with the waterfowl?
I think my first waterfowl hunt was probably like when I was 14, 15 with the youth hunt, but that was just...
Was that up here or no?
Yeah, that was actually in Malay.
Okay, gotcha.
So my uncle would take me out, but that was just for the 2-day youth or whatever.
Okay.
It was like that.
It's like September 15th or something.
Somewhere
middle
around
September,
there.
Yeah.
So it was like that for 2-3 years. Then at that point, once we could start driving, I started going out with buddies from high school and stuff like that. And then after that, started doing it on my own, got my own dog. And once I got my own dog, that's when I really started getting into it big time.
Now, what would you say? Well, what about you, Tanner? When did you kind of get into it? I mean, I know you're sponsored by Dive Bomb and everything, which is huge. But I mean,
it's just crazy, dude. I'm like,
that you're sponsored by him?
He's
or
blessed. He's blessed.
He is a blessed young man for being sponsored by
Dive Bomb. Thank you very much.
Flag.
No, I probably started out. I don't even know. Probably 7-8 years ago. I was probably 13, 14, probably when I first started. But probably last year, the year before that, is when I first started kind of getting into it. But probably last year is when I started getting into it hard. And this year, I'll probably hit it super hard. Like, that's probably the only thing I'll do is waterfowl hunt.
That's kind of around the same time as when I stopped deer hunting, like we were just talking about beforehand. And it's been, I mean, now what I have, it's, I'm probably going to try to get back into deer hunting wise a little bit for me, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night are some of the big, and I'll say Monday night are some of the biggest scout days for me.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, Friday is getting me prepared for
The weekend,
Saturday.
Right.
Saturday scout was getting me ready for Sunday, which I also have seen those birds in that field Thursday and Friday. But Monday, I want to see where those birds went.
Right.
I want to get an idea for the following week to understand, okay, we didn't really push them that hard, so we could probably let it lay for this week. Not tear them up as much, but they're probably going to still be here. We're going to have to switch around how we hunt them, but we can still burn them up a little bit. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with turkey hunting. Like, you got to be smart with getting in there and
don't burn the spot out.
Which we're lucky enough to have a couple different roosts, so we can hunt here and there and save that roost. We burn this roost, we save it for a week or two, let them calm down a little bit, and we'll jump back up in there. And obviously it's not easy. It's still a lot of time getting put in, and luckily enough with the connections I have with the farmers, I'll get texts like, hey dude, you need to be out here like now to check this stuff out. Like you need to see what's going on. So I'm lucky enough and blessed enough, I guess, to have that relationship. But people don't realize like it takes years to get in situations. Though. It takes talking to those farmers during the summertime. Do you guys need help baling hay? Do you guys need this? Do you guys want this? I'll bring you over a case of beer. Whatever it is. Yesterday I had a beer and sat to one of the farmers for an hour and a half on his porch just talking about work. But like for them to realize what kind of person you are, it's huge.
Yeah. To separate yourself from just any normal dude just coming to knock on their door to try to kill their birds in their field.
You can't
it's a big deal.
Yeah, you can't just knock on some random guy's door and you're some random kid or middle-aged guy and say, can I bring 5-10 buddies here and wake you up at 6 in the morning for us shooting birds?
You mind if I drive across your field at 3 o'clock in the morning?
That's your living right there. Like, you mind if I just do donuts out there? No, get out of my driveway. You know.
Honestly, I have no idea how anybody ever gets any permission. It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
It's very tough.
It's wild.
What's your craziest asking for permission story? Do you have any? I'll let you think about it. I have 2.
Mine's probably last year on that pond. That old guy. Call us real gentlemen.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. That was a nice old man.
What happened there?
We were hunting up in Michigan, and a couple of our buddies, I'm seeing these birds on this pond, and I stopped in this one dude's door.
They're scared to ask permission.
Yeah, they're kind of pussies.
Who are you? The buddies?
That's for the record.
For the buddies, though?
Yeah.
His buddies.
We're talking about Chris and Cody.
Yeah,
If you're listening.
Cody, grow a sack, dude.
Just ask.
No, I used to be the same way, though. I would literally go out and scout, and I would have my dad go out there because, one, Dad's an older guy, obviously, and they feel more comfortable with that than they do with younger kids.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I would ask, but I would always get turned down. He would go, he'd get permission. And then, I get closer to the farmers than he is.
Right.
But it's just that respect thing at that level.
100%.
But Chris and Cody, grow a sack.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they didn't find these birds. Everything was all locked up at that time. It was cold, but they had this creek coming in. It's probably spring fed, which everything was open right there in this little bay in this area.
You want to drop a pin because you dropped a pin on
everything
else.
We can. Yeah, it was at the crossroads of.
Go ahead, Tanner.
But anyways, I stopped knocking this dude's door, and he's like, "Oh, I just rent this place," and the guy that owns us from Texas. I said, "It's only gonna be tomorrow morning. He's not gonna know, dude." I said, "He's from Texas. He gonna care." He goes, "Well, I don't really know you guys or whatever." I'm like, "All right, dude, that's fine." So we went to this other property, like right next to it, and he had this green grass right down next to the water. And I went and stopped on his door, and he's like, "Oh, how you doing?" I'm like, "Good." I'm like, "Hey, seen a bunch of geese on your little pond out here behind your house." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "You care if me and my buddy come hunt tomorrow morning?" He goes, "Yeah, I think that'll be fine." Then he started talking to me how we're gonna hunt them, what we're gonna do, what we do with them after. I told him we eat them, whatever, and I told him we come back tomorrow morning at 5:00. So we end up going back tomorrow morning.
This is like the most pristine house and lawn you've ever seen in your entire life. Yeah.
This dude.
So you put a tire on it.
Like
and he's out there.
I'm driving down this driveway with my old ass truck just leaking oil and shit.
Yeah.
Just like this dude's gonna be like, what the hell is this dude doing?
Bunch of hillbilly.
Yeah. But anyways, we go back the next day. I'm shooting a 4-man. Or it's a 4-man, right?
Yeah.
4-man and plus a pan. Anyways, killed our birds or whatever. And that day before, he's like, "Yeah, if you guys need some coffee or whatever, I'll be up about 4:00. You guys come and get some coffee, drink or whatever. Talk to us or whatever." I'm like, "Oh yeah, maybe whatever." Killed our 4-man and clean up decoys or whatever. And he comes outside. He's like, "You guys need a wheelbarrow?" We're like, "For what?" He's like, "Yeah, you can just put all your dead birds in here and just wheel them up to the truck." We're like, "Yeah, that sounds good, man." Comes out with his wheelbarrow, gives it to us or whatever, takes them off the truck, and then we left the decoys out there for some reason. He's like, "Well, you see those geese right there?" We're like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, those geese in the grass in my yard right there." We're like, "No, dude, those are our decoys." Like, "Oh, really?"
I had no idea.
So yeah, that's a good story there.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
And then we were sitting there bullshitting for 25, 30 minutes after that. He goes, "You guys are real gentlemen."
Yep. True
gentlemen.
I was like,
pause too.
I was like, hell, dude. I ain't never been called that before.
Those are the guys. Can I get that in recording?
You're right.
So I can show people.
Right.
Give it to other farmers. This is how we are right
Yeah.
Yeah, right. My mic just broke for whatever reason. That's sweet.
Yeah, he even invited us to go fishing out there, and we never even asked.
Yeah.
The guy was just crazy. So giving.
I don't know what just happened to my mic, but I guess I'm going like this for the rest of the time. Yeah, that's like, yeah, what you want out of a scouting thing right there. I will say I've had dogs chase me out of driveways. I've had guns pulled out on me before. I've had
guns?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Where the guys have pulled guns out and laid it on, like I
actually.
Well, that dude last year.
I have had that.
When we went, and that birds were in that dude's cattle pasture right by his yard. I thought he was gonna pull out a gun on us. Because he knocked on his door and never came out. We were pulling out. He's like, "Hey, what do you want?" He goes up and talks to him. He's like, nah, get out of here.
There's a couple years, probably 3-4 years ago now, I was hunting. We were in Ohio, and there was this, it was actually early season. and I knock on this dude's door, bunch of geese on his pond and shit, and talk to his wife. She's like, oh, you're gonna have to talk to my husband. I was like, all right, that's cool. So he comes up, gives me permission. Dude kind of seems a little bit off, and I was like, oh, whatever, I see weird people all day. And
yeah, Tanner.
So we're setting up out in, like, we're putting our blinds out. This is going to be an evening hunt when they come back to feed, off their feed. And we're putting decoys out, putting our blinds out and everything. And dude comes out. There's like me and probably like 4 buddies out there. And he walks out. Turns out dude's got dementia. And he forgot that he gave us permission to hunt there. So he walks out there and he's like, what are you guys up to? And we're like, well, you just gave us permission to hunt like an hour ago, dude. And he's like, no, I didn't. And I was like, yeah, you did. And he's like, no, I wouldn't have done that. I was like, okay. And
how many guys you have with you?
It was like me and 3 or 4 other buddies.
And they're like, dude,
yeah,
what is going on? Are we trespassing right now? Do we gotta run?
Yeah.
Or what are we doing?
I was thinking, like, we need your wife out here to like mediate between us, because obviously you're not in the mindset of knowing what's going on. Was he getting
hostile at all?
Oh yeah, he's getting hostile. And I was like, all right, we can pack up. I was like, it's no big deal. I was like, we'll be out of here in 10 minutes. We'll just pack all our shit. And all of a sudden he pulls up his shirt and he's got a gun tucked in his waistband. He's like, oh, I'd never put myself in a situation like where I could be taken advantage of. I was just like, okay. I was like, we're going to get out of here like right quick here.
Holy smokes.
So I don't know if dude's still alive or not, but he's got a bunch of geese on his pond and he's got dementia, so don't go there.
That's going back to the guy that pulls a gun. The guy we talked to was walking his dog about how he said he'd shoot somebody for trespassing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was in like Vermont. That dude was a weirdo too.
You guys gotta run into some weird guys.
Oh,
weird as fuck.
There's so many guys I just forget about. But that dude is a fucking weirdo.
Crazy. He owned a lot of land.
Yeah. His name was Robert.
Do you guys ask a lot when you guys are out there in different states?
Yeah. I mean, it just depends.
On like terrain, like the area itself. Yeah. Yes, I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so you guys are doing all this for turkey hunting. You guys ever think about doing that for waterfowl as well?
I've traveled a little bit for waterfowl, but waterfowl takes a lot. Unless you're going like out west.
Yeah, right.
Like if you were just to travel to New York or something, right. I mean, it's going to take you a week to figure them out, and then you're going to have to hunt them.
Right. And, well, that's the thing too. Like for me, I get asked to go here or there, wherever, and it's like, dude, I got birds here. You guys are shooting the same birds. Why am I traveling?
Unless I'm shooting something I can't shoot here, I'm not going to go.
Right.
Like, I can go, why do I need to drive 5 hours to go kill Canadas when I can kill them 10 miles from my house?
If I'm shooting more, like, majority, like, if you're going down to, like, in Oklahoma or Texas or out west where you're shooting more pintails or widgeons, something like that, where you get that rate of shooting, even if you want to go with a blue wing or green wing teal or something small. And you're shooting studs out there, though.
Right.
That's kind of a different thing.
Like I've been to Arkansas for specs and mallards into timber and shit like that, but that's just a different scenario.
Right. That's a whole different ball game.
Like seeing all the migrating specks and snows out there was unreal. And then I've been out to like the Chesapeake Bay and I've shot.
How was that?
It was really cool. Just like the heritage out there.
I was gonna say it's a huge like historic kind of.
We hunted brant, and we were trying to hunt we went for 3 days. We were trying to hunt brant for 1 day and sea ducks for 2 days, but the seas were too bad to hunt the sea ducks. But the brant were fun to shoot, but they're probably the dumbest waterfowl in North America. Yeah.
Any bands with those? Because I feel like every other one's a band.
I know it. We killed 8 and we didn't get a single band, which our guide couldn't believe it.
Geo trackers and oh man.
But it was really cool. We Pit Boss Waterfowl
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
We
They
were,
actually like he follows us on Instagram.
Really?
And I never personally talked to him, but he seems like a really good guy. He likes a lot of our stuff and stuff. And
we weren't hunting with him, but we were hunting in his brant blind out in the Chesapeake.
okay.
And actually, yeah, I think it was a Chesapeake. Either way, it was some sort of fucking bay over there, big bay, on the big shoals, and that was really neat.
No, they're eating mostly like clams and stuff out there.
They're eating seaweed.
Oh, seaweed. That's
Yeah.
okay.
It's like a neon green seaweed is
Really?
what they're eating.
Way
yeah.
different than.
Yeah, it's like crazy when you pull it up. It's wild.
I gotcha.
But I mean, those birds are just, really stupid. But are they stupid, or is it just because they live in the Arctic Circle and have never seen a human? Which I think that's what it is.
Okay, so this is gonna sound crazy, probably to both of you guys. This is my opinion on diver ducks.
Oh yeah, yep, I agree 100%. I
Because
already know where you're going.
Diver ducks are supposedly one of the dumbest birds in
Yep.
the area. My opinion is there's so many of them that fly down in their migration down that they don't know, and that's why they're done. They're just like geese into a new area.
They've never seen a human in their life.
Exactly.
I mean, that bluebill that lands in your decoys when your boat's laying,
When you're out there.
when your boat's in the decoy spread picking up, she's never seen a human
Exactly.
in the 5 years she's been alive.
I'm glad that
never
you
seen one.
guys get that then too,
Yeah.
because like I always think that like they're dumb, but they're actually really
They're
smart.
just
birds.
uneducated.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't believe any animal is dumb. They're just not used to.
Well, because like,
a
if
human.
it's like hunting a state park that just opened up to their hunting, or like you
Right.
draw for that area, and then you're able to hunt that now. Them deer aren't used to that.
Right.
You see deer in the city that are as
Right.
dumb as can
It's
be.
like going to Mombi Bay State Park and trying to kill a deer. Yeah,
Right,
it's,
exactly.
It it doesn't see you as a threat.
Exactly.
And a diver duck doesn't see you as a threat because it's never seen a human. It doesn't even know what you are.
Exactly.
It's just like when guys go up caribou hunting in the Northwest or moose hunting.
They
I mean,
don't know what
that
people
moose or caribou has never seen a human in its life.
Right.
That's why you can walk up to it or stand up and shoot it
Right.
at 30 yards. It's never seen somebody.
I'm taking another piss.
All right.
I have a bladder of a fucking dude. I didn't mean to fucking like let you off. How have you not pissed, Brad?
Dude, I've pissed like 5 times. I could probably use one before we get going again, I guess.
I need to hook that mini fridge up in there.
In the pisser?
Do you see that little bastard in there? Oh, dude, I got cornhole in there. I got a mini fridge in there.
You know what's crazy? Is that there's fucking
beach in there.
carpet in the fucking pisser room.
Oh, dude,
That's unreal.
Have you guys tried the bush peach yet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say I got some in there if you want some.
I mean, I could use another beer.
Yeah,
You want a peacher or you want a regular?
I don't care.
It's up to you.
I think we're out, so we're on to your shit.
No, it's so whatever you guys want. That's why I literally have them in here for like this kind of shit. Oh, I think this is fucking going.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking. I think it was a nice transition between.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully I'm not hurting too many people's feelings and shit.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Dude? That's what I say at the end of the fucking day. $140 for that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Solution, or and then he's got black and ivory right now.
I'd like to replace that with my fucking EX3.
I can have him send it to me or send it to you, just whatever. Just let me know.
Yeah, here's those fucking shells I got today.
Yeah, those are fucking nice as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. 2 dozen, 200 bucks, dude. Fucking steal. I think we got enough fucking decoys now. I got like 18 dozen full bodies.
Well, you started talking about shells, and we ordered shells this year, and I'll talk a little bit about it on here, but dude, he's paid it's $3,100 for shells today.
Holy fuck. For
Yeah.
how many? How many cases?
12.
That ain't bad, actually.
But regular price, $5,000.
Yeah.
But that's not including all the free hats, the free shirts, free hoodies,
Do you
the
resell them?
beanies. Huh?
Do you resell
I mean, if you guys wanted a case, I could get you a case. It's $250 a case.
That's
them?
actually
At
pretty
all?
good.
Because I just
And
fucking
that's all the double stacked migra shit.
Is it steel?
I want to say it's steel, but I want to say they got some.
I know they got like tungsten or something like that, but it's fucking like $54. Yeah, it's like 54 fucking box.
Just got a free fucking case of it.
Really?
It's for a 20 gauge for my sister, but like, you guys like. Yeah, they. I don't know if this will kill geese like later in the year, so here's a free case of the tungsten stuff.
Right.
Fucking wild, dude. They're actually coming in November to hunt with us. So they're driving all the way up from North Carolina. Coming
God
up.
damn.
Yeah, dude. Wild. But you guys ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Caribou, moose, we took another piss break. But yeah, no, I always say that too though, with the divers and stuff, like you can shoot those birds because there's so many of them.
Yep.
And have you hunted like, I guess for you guys it'd be like the Cedar Point area down that way.
I'm mainly in like wood tick. I hunt the Michigan side. I don't hunt
Flag. No, I'm
the.
just
Yeah.
that okay, so but you know the amount of raft of birds that
Oh, yeah.
are on the Canada side, and
Yeah.
it's just there's so many of those birds that I just really think they don't know, and that's why
Right.
they're that dumb.
Right.
Because like, if a Canada goose travels a mile to a new roost, just saying, that's a new spot,
Yeah.
and they're just as dumb. And you can say they're migrating,
Yeah.
whatever it is, but they're just traveling a mile down the road, or
Right.
they're hopping locations.
Or 50 miles in a day or whatever.
Whatever it is, they don't have to travel far for them to not know what's going on
Right,
in those
exactly.
fields down there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, for our birds where we hunt, which hopefully you guys can come up this year and hunt with us.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 different roosts. They travel it, but it's not meaning that they're like.
Not knowing they're all.
Yeah, well, those birds are a little bit different. They're knowing because they're traveling a little bit. They're bouncing back and forth, which I know because I've seen them like hopping back and forth. I've hunted over there enough. But it's not saying that like those birds that are coming from the north or the south aren't new as well. Like just because they come out of that roost, the same roost as every other bird or every other flock, they could also be like new birds or
right.
You know, you got to treat every bird differently, and that's the thing too with even calling wise. For me, reading birds and turkeys, geese, ducks, whatever it is the biggest part, or I'll say top 5. Yeah, top 5 I'll say for being successful.
Oh,
at
without
that.
a doubt. Oh, without
being
a
I'd
doubt.
say reading turkeys is probably the top,
Oh, yeah.
if not second.
Yeah.
Probably 100% top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
How
sure.
to kill them.
For sure.
Right.
I mean, there's just so many different aspects, and that goes back, like we've said before, about small details.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Huge for me.
And what you got to do on turkeys is be able to read what they're doing without even being able to see them. Just-
it gobbles itself.
just
or
from
the-
what they're doing.
From their sound that they're making, or the lack of sound.
right, correct.
Is like, how are they gobbling at you? That's
Right.
Are they just gobbling like a
To
courtesy gobble?
The shock gobbling.
Or are they
gobbling
shock
action.
gobbling
They
at
want you
you?
to come to them, or
Right.
are they coming? You
Or
know
are
what
they
I mean?
cutting you off
Right.
gobbling at you?
Right.
I mean, there's all different types.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a huge thing.
And that comes with experience too.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt
No,
long
for
enough
sure.
to know
For
what
sure,
it
but-
is.
but
I mean,
you-
that comes to waterfowl too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that, but like you also have to have like the want to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can go out for 10 years but still not know. Like,
Right. Not
Yep.
care enough.
well, if those ducks are flaring or not flaring, just banking on us, they can still come back around.
Right.
Just keep calling to them, but like do something a little bit different. Or
Right.
like, I'll shut the timers off on the mojos or shut the
Mhm.
mojos completely off. There are different little tactics that can turn them birds right around.
Right.
Ducks, geese, turkeys, whatever. You can do it. You just
Yeah.
got to be willing to learn.
Right.
Kind of their patterns.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the whole reason I hunt, is to figure out why things do things. Like, I'm not in it.
That's my biggest thing as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
I want to know why that goose did that, or why that
Mhm.
turkey did that,
Yep.
or why that deer did that even. Which
And-
deer are easy, but
Well, I don't know. Tanner was hopping the lines all the year, so I don't know, man.
Hey, this is a big topic with Brad.
This is a hot topic.
topic for Brad. Here.
I think deer are. Earlier I said there's no dumb animal. I think a deer is a dumb animal. I would rather kill a rabbit than a deer. They are so dumb. That's how I feel.
Okay, if you're getting a 6-year-old 200-inch whitetail, that deer is not.
How many of those are in the
That's
county?
exactly right.
Right.
Why? Why there isn't?
Because everybody kills them when they're 3 years old. That's
I
why.
think there's some water in the fridge that I could probably give you because I think you're, I don't know, kind of talking out your ass right now. Because
Dude.
them deer, man, they're smart. I went out there last weekend, and them deer haven't been back since, and I was getting them on every single day. They know what's going on out there.
Well, yeah,
You're
walked
walking in their living
You
room.
walked in there the wrong way. That's all you gotta do is walk in.
That-
This is a huge topic.
That or my weed whip that was going off to get to my blind.
That'll do it too, for sure.
Yeah. But they're not dumb though.
I mean, they are to a certain extent.
Well, it depends
a
on what
fu-
time of year you're hunting.
A 4 or 5 year old deer, yeah, okay, he's smart.
If you're hunting them during the rut, they're dumb.
Right,
If you're hunting them early season, they're dumb.
right.
If you're hunting in between any of those stages,
Well, they're just
pretty
nocturnal.
smart.
They're just nocturnal.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right. So, is that a
Fuck.
smart thing though that they're nocturnal, or a dumb
It's,
thing that they're
it's
nocturnal?
just how they are.
I mean, I think
It's like
they're
a
pretty-
fucking owl.
I think they're pretty smart for that. That's how they know they survive.
Nah.
They move at night.
I think it's just the way they are.
So, what do you think about the Tigers this year? They've been playing pretty good, huh?
I don't know. I don't watch sports.
You
I'm
watch
just
football-
completely-
you watch
I'm-
football too, Brian.
I'm just completely getting off the topic of whitetail because that's a whole. We're at, I think, almost 2 hours already right now, and I think that's another hour
That is a
conversation.
whole- That's probably more than an hour. That's
Yeah.
a whole nother. That's a whole
Yeah.
nother episode.
Sports and white-tailed deer are two things I couldn't give a shit less about.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. What else we got? I want to talk about your fishing.
Bow fishing?
Yeah, I want to talk about that because that's another like YouTube episode. I see you on Snapchat.
Yeah.
I mean, how much Kool-Aid packets you putting in them boats after you drain it?
Gallons.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
That's what I figured because that thing is red.
Yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah. She
You should
gets
see the
red.
maggots growing
dude.
in there.
That's
a
called-
day or
Yeah.
two later, or even that same day. Honestly,
Yeah.
you shoot for the morning and
Mhm.
it gets to be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That blood is all by flies.
Oh
God,
no,
it
that's
fucking
Kool-Aid. That's called
sucks.
diabetes.
I'd
That's what that's called. 'cause
That's
that-
called nastiness.
Oh my god.
I'd hate to see what the foam inside my boat looks like.
What do you do with all that?
When we're in Kentucky, we sell them.
Okay.
We get 9 cents a pound, and
No, they have fish shops for that though, right?
they're
Like they're
there's a place in Illinois that makes dog and cat food out of the fish.
what? Do you know the brand?
I don't know,
Okay,
but
because I'm not buying from.
yeah,
them.
exactly. some of the fish we've thrown in there, you would not want your dog eating.
No.
Granted, I'm sure they cook it and everything, but still.
Right. No, just,
I mean, who knows? They could just grind the whole fish up and then just throw it in with the rest of it.
I mean, in reality, it's a natural blend of
Right.
whatever. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's not their salmon like they're saying. But
Right.
It's hard.
No. But yeah, we sell it for 9 cents a pound, and basically that just pays for gas or hotel or whatever.
Right.
So we got a trip to go down there, and we smoke them.
Oh, you guys do? You smoke?
No, I'm talking like
Oh,
kill
no, you
'em.
definitely smoke them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you smoke.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah. That's I think I saw that even was like a garden fertilizer. 'Cause I know
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of,
you-
like,
Yeah, I've seen guys do that.
Yeah.
the guys that I think out walleye fishing, which I haven't walleye fished so long, which I completely regret. But
Mhm.
they take the carcasses and put them out in their gardens at
Oh,
home
yeah.
and stuff. I bet you can probably do something with that even.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know today when I went, I set the minnow traps for him because he got a bunch of fish and whatever. And I went back by where I threw a bunch of walleye in this cornfield. And I started seeing like the skeleton and shit, and the corn was like a foot taller than the rest of the
Right.
corn
Damn.
where I was.
I
I mean,
mean,
there was teeth and everything, like a full entire skeleton just sitting there. With all
Teeth?
the fish, the walleye teeth.
oh, I was like, dude, bury a body? You just confess to yourself? What did you just
I
do?
could see him doing that though.
Yeah, he's already like named off Pennsylvania next to Wisconsin or whatever he did, and then the farm that now everybody's gonna know. No, but no, you guys do murder them though. You guys ever like want to go for like those alligator gars?
Yeah, I
That would be a
do.
blast. I feel
I've got a connection down south on like the Oklahoma, Tennessee, or fucking Texas line. Not the Oklahoma Tennessee line. That'd be
Alabama.
that'd be a long ways away. But yeah, I got a connection down there. I just got to make it down there.
What about those spoonbill? You ever go after them?
Oh yeah, we kill those in Kentucky also.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I shot one when we were down there.
Yeah.
I seen this post on Facebook because I stealing salmon fish, and this dude in southern Indiana catching one in Trail Creek, I think, which was actually pretty crazy for Wisconsin.
Look at that, dropping another name.
Uh huh.
That's
Everybody
like-
go to Trail Creek.
That's like a big time creek though, so it's
Whatever,
really
dude.
That's no secret at all.
That's no secret because I don't drop fish. So.
Because it's on this podcast now. Everybody
There's no
hunting the
secret.
public part 2.
There's
Uh-huh.
no secret about that. You look it up and there's so many videos. About
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
But that's just crazy to see that up there in the southern Lake Michigan.
Right.
Yeah. That's wild.
Mhm.
Have you guys ever? I mean, you guys are a pretty crazy group of hunters wise, where like you guys are traveling all over the place and
Mhm.
stuff. Have you guys ever like kind of looked into like filming wise at all? I know you
we're-
said you're kind of against like the certain kind of people wise.
We're talking about it right now, just filming kind of just for us. And, but the issue is who's going to kill when we're videoing. Because, like, we need a videographer. Because,
For sure.
You do, but I mean, at
'Cause
the same
what-
time, if you're calling, then I know you're kind of sitting behind or whatever it is. But I mean, for us wise, let's say, documented like hunts on social media. If you guys started your own social media thing,
Right.
or there's a lot of opportunities in
Right.
that because with you guys just traveling so far.
right.
I mean, kind of the sky. Jeez, Pete's got the hiccups or something. Sky's the limit with all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if we had somebody to follow us around all year long, I mean, it'd be unreal. What?
It'd be crazy.
Because, like,
yeah,
our Instagrams and stuff is just
taking a shit.
It's just
How do you feel?
right.
Sorry.
It's just a fraction of what we do, like that we actually post.
Right.
Just because
Right.
you don't want people looking at every single thing you do.
Well, that's like for me wise, I post. I don't even go on my regular Instagram nowadays. I just go to my like the Great Lakes
Right.
page and I hardly post anything on Snapchat or anything.
Right.
And the true guys that know me know that I'm still
You're killing.
killing
You're
it
still
or
killing
whatever.
it. You're
Yeah.
not-
Right.
Yeah.
I don't really care for that. Like I'd rather
Right.
see like our page grow and in that aspect. I don't care about me personally because if the page is growing, I'm growing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a whole
Like my turkeys. Like, I'm not out here to be like, oh, I've look at me, I've shot in
Right,
this,
right.
this,
We always talk about that
this,
with the
and
bands
state.
out there.
Right.
You know, when Tanner was
Right.
showing us up in pool.
Right. Like, if I don't know you personally, like, if you're not getting a Snapchat of it,
Right.
probably doesn't really matter to me whether you know if I killed in Maine or not.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Which, in breaking that down to social media, though, and we've said that in Sean's podcast, where like me and you met there,
Mm-hmm.
haven't really. I don't think we've encountered or got like in person since Dustin's thing, which we've mentioned 3 or 4 times. But it's crazy what social media can do nowadays to get like I never would have met you, Tanner, without going there or whatever it may have been, and that was the whole point of going there, to meet new people and you know, obviously getting the name out there and, you know, building friendships. But like who knows? You guys might not have been here though. You know
Right,
what I mean?
exactly.
And for us, like,
yeah, I mean, we
building
knew
a whole new bond or friendship, whatever it is, that like we never had.
Right.
That,
we were acquainted, but
right. We never knew each other though. Right. So hopefully I'll get more Snapchats this year.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'll show you. If you ever need to go out of state anywhere, I can lead you in the right direction.
But as you said before, you'll take me once, and then you're never taking me to another spot. You'll take me to the bad spot.
If you like it, if you show that you enjoy it, I'll keep taking.
I've said it so many times how much I enjoy it.
I know it. So I'll take you.
Okay,
I'll take you
We
anyway.
gotta get together. I mean,
All right.
No, you guys, whether me come up there or down there, or you guys come up here, I think we definitely need to get out of
for
this
sure.
year.
Yeah.
For sure.
We just try to figure out something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether like our ducks came in super late last year. Dude, we shot. I think it was 200 ducks within the last 3 weeks and weekends of the season. Because we're only weekend warriors. We're only shooting birds on weekends.
Same.
So it was 3 or 4 weekends, and we shot those 200 ducks or something. It was something outrageous. Because like one weekend we shot, I think we shot a 10-man, and then we shot super close to that 14-man the following weekend.
That's unreal.
So it was like 90 right there, and then it was like, I don't know. I don't know like the number off the top of my head, but like if we got the ducks and the geese in the area, you guys definitely need to come up and bang them out.
For sure. I mean, we don't have numbers like that, but
no.
not where we live, but we'll get
you
some
know
shit.
why?
Because we don't have any water.
No, because Tanner's wearing a white dive bomb.
That too.
In the middle of the field.
Listen.
Let me get on in on this hat.
Listen here.
That New York story that I told earlier, dude was wearing a white fucking dive bomb hat.
No, I took it off.
He hit
While turkey hunting?
While turkey hunting,
oh
yes.
My God.
I had it on, I forgot, and we sat down on this log. I'm like, fuck, dude, I got my white dive.
We're 100 yards from the birds. It's getting light.
It was like, no, it was probably 4:35 o'clock, which, okay, it might have been getting light, but I am taking it off and put it inside my jacket. And I just had my face mask on. I'm killing this bird, and I'm taking it out and putting it out. And then my brother in Nebraska, when he killed that bird, I had this hat too. I didn't take my camouflage hat with me, and I just wore my face mask the whole time. I was kind of irritated that I forgot my hat at home.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I'm just being dramatic, but he did forget to take his hat off in New York.
That other
It was
in
wild.
Michigan too, on that pond, I wore this hat.
You did, yeah.
I did 100%.
Yeah. That's probably why they were flaring later in the morning.
Flaring.
Oh, at the pond?
Yeah. At
Yeah.
that dude's house.
Yeah, they weren't flaring
With the
there.
mentor or the other guy?
The other guy.
The other guy.
The
real
cool guy.
gentleman.
Yeah.
The cool guy.
The cool
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I did wear his hat. This hat's been on a lot of good hunts.
It has. It has.
Yeah, it looks like it's been through the ringer,
It's been
too.
through a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I've washed this once or twice.
Yeah.
It needs a good wash.
I
might
think it
wash
needs
it.
for wash number 2.
I mean, the only reason I wear it still because they don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
No?
No, they stopped making them.
Do you guys use dive bomb then?
I don't.
I mean, I have the Silos, yeah.
Yeah.
So I sold all mine. Strictly full buys now.
Yeah.
I hate silhouettes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Why? Just don't finish right?
No, because everybody, that and then everybody and their brother has them.
Right. I agree.
So let's be different.
Right.
Let's watch some videos online, but watch for the spreads and not the killing.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not make a U shape or a hooking jay on a crosswind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make a couple different pockets of family groups and have them finish, not just in front of everybody, but maybe finish on the left side, but they're finishing very, very close.
Right.
Instead of 30, 40 yards out and then shooting at them.
Right.
Let's make it more realistic, and that's what I'm into.
Right.
And that's the same with our turkey hunting. My decoys. I'll throw more of a realistic, like, spread out there, I guess you want to say, which I don't know anything otherwise. I'll have the hen underneath, and I'll have another feeding hen out way off in the distance. I'll have it 50 yards out, but to have it more realistic-wise, the realistic things of everything is you're going to do better.
We can go into turkey decoys if you want.
Oh, man.
I don't know if Brad's really going to be on top of it.
What kind of decoys do you
He
use?
used to hunt over decoys.
What kind of decoys?
Honestly, I don't even know what they are. We've had
No.
We'd have my dad's had them for a while.
I did the foam ones.
No.
So I use the DSDs, and I have never seen turkeys finish.
I mean, I've had them, but in Ohio you can use remote control ones.
Oh,
Yeah. Gay.
Okay, so the next conversation. What else do you need? We can't use motion. We can't even use a pull string up here or anything.
You might as well fucking get out the 223 and fucking shoot
Right,
them from the truck.
exactly. Well, no, you can't use that besides on coyotes, which is the dumbest thing ever.
It really is.
Because you can shoot a coyote with a 30-6 below the Zawaki, but you can't on the ground.
Yeah.
But you can't shoot a deer in a tree stand.
Yeah.
You know, on a downward slope.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just dumb to me.
I haven't hunted coyotes in Michigan in a while, but I remember back in the day, like 6-7 years ago, there was some law about you could only use center fire rifles. I don't know if it was either on public or private, but you could only use them at night. There was something like that. It is something completely backwards, yeah. But
the problem is I heard this a long time ago. My dad talked to somebody at a show. Ohio has actual hunters in the big room, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan has guys in the suits that look at the insurance claims and this, that, and the other.
Yep.
Like, they actually have hunters in Ohio that understand the laws.
Right.
Besides different states. I mean, different states is, you know, each is their own, but Michigan is just, it's all about the moolah, even though we have the worst roads in the country.
The only thing I think Michigan does right is their turkey regulations.
I am personally I am a fan of the one bird.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because my biggest thing, even with waterfowl wise, is about getting others involved.
Mm-hmm.
In the one bird state, we're not going to be completely murdering the population, and you're allowing to grow the birds and
while still getting a taste of it.
Right.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think about killing a jake compared to longbeard?
I don't see a problem with it.
So if you think killing a longbeard is going to be more beneficial?
I've heard killing the jake is actually smarter than killing longbeards on certain properties.
What do you think about that, Brad?
I think that's fucking backwards.
I know. I think what you're saying.
Well, I think that the jakes actually beat up that single longbeard that is showing dominance, and if you show that dominance, and you're the
jakes are non-breeding.
No, you're right. But there's a pecking order. I feel like
100%.
with the hens, the toms, and the jakes, there's a pecking order. I feel like, and I feel like if you shoot that boss tom, or screw up that boss hen, it screws everything into a loop.
Well, right. That's why you don't kill them the first week of season when they still have their hens all.
So what's wrong with shooting a jake first weekend of the season?
I mean, if you want to kill
if
you want to
if
you want to kill a jake, you can kill a jake.
But I'm saying, like, in the event of, like, they have to figure out the pecking order. They got to figure out all this.
Right.
You got 3 jakes on one hen or one time. Them jakes are running that time off. Why is that?
I don't know, because I seen last year there was a group of 8 jakes fighting 2 toms, and the 2 toms beat them up every time.
Oh yeah.
But most of the time, though,
But most of the time, yeah, you had 3 or 4 jakes on a tom, they'll beat that tom up and run them off.
Right. And then all of a sudden the tom's scared of every Jake decoy out there. So
That's why you don't put a decoy out.
That's another thing. Yeah, the decoys will scare the birds.
depending on the hunts, yeah, for sure. Like
it all depends how much pressure there is or how many guys on hunt them.
Right.
Because the birds will see them decoys and will run.
And I will say too, if you shoot, say 2 birds come in, you shoot 1 tom out of the 2 toms. Don't have the same decoy set up if you are using decoys as you did already, because already that other tom already has that in his mindset that, oh shoot, there's 1 Jake and a hen just like last time, and I came all the way in for this. My buddy just got shot.
Smoked, yeah.
I'm not coming into that, whether it be real or fake.
I mean, that's another thing going back to using no decoys. I mean,
for
you can
sure,
call them
for
birds
sure.
right in, they won't. I mean, they're not going to see a decoy.
In the right situation.
Yep.
If you're hunting fields and you're calling birds across fields, good luck. Unless you got a guy across, like behind you, if you're both sitting next to each other, that's tough.
Depends. Are you sitting right on the edge of the field?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're not going to come in.
Well,
they know there should be a hen there.
That's what I'm saying.
That's.
But
we're gonna have to pause this, but that's why you back in 50 yards in the woods and kill them.
No, I feel.
Yeah,
it.
sir.
I feel it. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like
just think about it. If you are sitting on the edge of a field and a bird comes in from 200 yards away because of the decoy,
You're yelping at him on the edge of the woods.
and then you have no decoys, there's no shot that bird's going to come into. I mean,
No
there
chance.
Might be.
right.
He can see.
Certain situations. Like I said, it's one thing if the guy's sitting behind you or whatever.
No,
maybe.
you can sit behind you.
What do you mean?
If you're by yourself, okay, so you're on the edge of the woods, right?
Yeah.
Yelping at a turkey 200 yards in the field.
Uh-huh.
He can see that there's not a hen there.
He ain't coming in.
So if you back in 50, 75 yards into that woods.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Because it's visibility at that point.
Right. So
100%.
he's got to come through the field and into the woods.
100%.
And then hopefully there's a rise or a little bit
Right.
of a thicket that he's got to also walk through
It's
to
always
poke,
making
to poke his head through.
wonder what's in the backside.
Exactly.
That's
Right.
another thing of having a guy in front of you and calling the bird past
Right.
your guy you're shooting towards you.
Yeah,
Right,
if you got a
right.
guy, if you got 2 guys, that, I mean, that's how they elk hunt and everything.
Right.
But that's ideal.
No, I feel that.
As long as your partner can call.
Right. But no, we've been going on for I think almost a little over 2 hours. I want to say. So, is there anything else you guys gotta say or want to talk about?
I don't know.
Because I feel like I gotta have you guys back up.
For sure.
Maybe middle of season
Oh,
for
we can-
waterfowl wise. I got one more question actually. Do you have to go to the bathroom?
No, I'm
Oh,
good.
I thought you said you had to pause it.
No.
Prep for September. I want to talk about.
Okay.
What's your guys? I mean, we're getting closer, and I don't know when this podcast is dropping. Like I said,
Right.
where it might be after. But what's your prep for season? Your scouting, your blinds. What do you guys got?
I mean, we got an idea where all the birds are right now.
Right.
I mean,
We just got to pin them down.
really never stop scouting since
Right.
the season's over.
Yeah.
Always looking at birds where they're at.
It's kind of same with me.
I've been scouting since June when you could tell which wheat was wheat.
Yeah.
Well, and that also kind of goes back down to the turkey hunt at the same
Oh,
time.
for
Right.
sure, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, I'll take one.
You want one? Little break. So for us, like, we haven't even brushed in blinds yet. We got the blinds that are stationary wise for us, but we got blinds brushing in. I'm gonna get on scouting here pretty soon. But for me, pretty much set in stone with most of the farmers that I've learned over the years that birds are here at this date, birds are there at that date.
Right.
You got your calendar birds that are flying down, this, that, and the other. Can I do more? Of course, everybody can do more, but am I happy with what we got?
Right.
Of course, I'm happy with what
For the most part, we've got everything we need thoroughly
Right.
locked
Pretty
down.
much everything around our house
Yeah.
we got locked down.
Like, I don't want to be like the king. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, we're killing shit. You know what I mean?
I'm the best of this area.
Yeah.
Everything I have.
If there's anything going on in my county, we know about it. That's just
trailer park. I don't know.
That's just sarcastic for everybody listening.
But no, I mean, what's your biggest tips on scouting or early season style?
Put the miles on your truck, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's, and it goes back for every type of hunting or fishing, whatever it may be. You gotta put that time in. Don't go out there acting like you know what's going on, and
Yep.
you gotta figure it out for yourself. There's gonna be days where hopefully this works and hopefully this goes good.
You have the highs and lows. You have the good with the bad.
And you gotta go through that, because if you don't, then you're not gonna know, because then you get that big feed and then you're gonna go with something that you obviously shouldn't, and then you're like, well, man, I wish I would have known about that. Well, if you would go out there and figure it out for yourself instead of watching these YouTube videos or whatever, you gotta get out there and learn it.
Right.
Yeah, you got guys come out the first time and you kill them with 5 minute wave, like, oh, this is so easy.
Yep.
And
It's not.
Same with turkeys.
Right. And every month is different.
Yep.
Every month is different. Because them birds are getting shot all the way down. They've seen, and that goes back to that dive bomb stuff where, like, it's easy to get 5 dozen dive bombs.
Everybody's seen, every goose flying down has seen 10 dozen dive bombs.
Right.
With an with an A-frame stuck in the middle of them, and there you go.
In a U or a W or whatever it is, and that's that realistic thing where, like, later in the year, and I know Dustin and Hunter and those guys, they'll run 12 DSDs all year long,
right?
Because it's realistic, and it works. You know what I mean?
Right.
What are you smirking for? Old dive bomb boy. I'll run 45 dozen decoys. No, but I think realism is the biggest thing too for.
Oh, 1,000%.
Make sure your height is perfect. And decoys, right?
Yeah.
It is, but your hide's got
hides everything.
Yeah.
Hides everything. That's what we were doing last year, and those big hunts that we were talking about. We had a ditch line, and I went out there the night before, put pallets all in this ditch, and the next morning that night we put the pallets in the ditch, we put plywood over the pallets, and then we put the A-frames on top of the pallets, so it was almost flush with the ditch line, so it almost looked like just weeds coming up out of the ditch. And that was the whole reason why we burned them the way we did.
Right. Nothing will piss me off more than when we're setting up in the morning, me and Tanner, or either way, have done all this scouting. We figured out where the birds are going, where they're setting down in the field and everything. And then we're setting decoys, because me and Tanner are usually the ones setting decoys. And then you got everybody else setting...
Oh, don't touch my decoys in the morning.
Brushing the blinds in.
I hate that.
So we get done with decoys. You walk over to the blinds and it looks like shit.
There's nothing.
Oh, that's good enough. Yeah. No, it's fucking not good enough.
You're gonna sit out here for 4 or 5 hours to be the blind to be half-assed.
And then flaring. And then why are they flaring? Because the blinds are terrible, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, break up the edges. If you're in frames, break up the fucking edges.
I don't care if you cut half a tree down. Put it on the edge of it.
Yes.
Right.
Your entire job this morning is to cut fucking grass.
Right.
Just cut the grass.
My dad's usually cooking. We got 2 or 3 guys setting up A-frames, and everybody else kind of, we'll have the blinds brushed in, obviously, but there's always more room for more to go on.
Yeah.
So you leave your blinds brushing all year round?
Yep.
You do?
Yep.
It doesn't depend on each field. You just leave them all the same.
Leave them all brushed in the same. Because for me, I never hunt layout blinds. I think we hunted them once last year. Always A-frames.
That's just what I did too.
We're usually always hunting points, or we're running. We run traffic out of a certain field that, the corn's right next to it, and we throw the whole trailer out at them and make them realize, like, oh, there's grass over here. Let's go check this out instead.
So you like hunting layouts better, or frames better than layouts? What you're saying?
I will sell the layouts in a heartbeat.
Oh, you would?
100%. 100%.
I agree.
I think the hide's a lot better in an A-frame.
Your shooting is 1,000% better out of an A-frame.
Your shooting is more natural, standing up and shouldering it instead of sitting up and shooting.
So if you got a, I don't know, 150-acre cornfield, all the birds in the middle, you're gonna set up a frame over layouts.
Absolutely, right on the side.
You think?
We shot a 10-man limited mallards and 26 geese way off of the edge, off of a spot that they didn't like to be at. You know, there's an X within the X, right?
Yeah.
But if you can convince those birds enough, it's almost like running traffic, where the hide's good and it looks that natural spread wise, you'll burn them every time. But you got to be visible though too. Visibility is a big thing for the birds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like chisel plow field, that's tough because of the fact that one, there's probably no hide, and then two, they're not seeing your decoys real good.
Right.
Everything's so dark.
But I'm also not doing A-frames in the middle. I'm, like I said, I'm hunting off of points. I'm hunting off of edges. I'm hunting where they're not going to be looking down the blind, because I'm to the point where, which maybe I don't need to be, but I'm looking at where they're flying back at night, where they're flying in from the morning. Like I'm looking where
Where
they're
coming
not
from, where they're going.
where. And there's some days where you don't have to be, but I want to know personally. You know, that's just my personal thing where I know the area and I know probably where they're coming from, but I still just want to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I want to know, hey guys, we're going to have some birds over our left shoulder coming, so just pay attention to that. And we're going to have majority flying over in front of us coming in at us, so just pay attention. But, you know, it's another big thing too. I got 10, 14 guys out there. My safety issue is another giant thing. My safety is like I have a speech with our guys.
Especially with dogs.
Yeah, the dog is number one. I tell everybody, you know, this dog might burn a flock or two, but I promise you there's another flock coming after it.
And if you kill my dog, we're gonna have
I'm killing you.
We're gonna have a large issue.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's A-frames. Like I said, I think I've hunted layouts 2 to 3 times in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I believe it. Just think about that hunt last opener of Ohio. I mean, those birds have been there for 2 months, dude. And we set it up on a mud flat.
Yeah, but I think that's different because you could hide so much better there compared to a cornfield where it's just corn stalks.
How many fields have just random patches of grass in them, though? A bunch of them. Those geese aren't that smart.
Not in the middle of wintertime or late season, middle of the cornfield.
My thing is though, you see them from below.
Right.
You don't see them from a bird's perspective.
I think that the main issue with them is having it draped over your center. When you got that big dark stripe down the middle, I think that's when you get
red
busted.
flag.
Yeah.
Or they're coming straight in and see that rectangle. If they're coming from the
That's
side.
why you break in the edges.
Sides, yeah, 100%. And that's
You can't just have your grass right on the edge. You need to have that shit. You need to have saplings coming off your
edges,
edge.
Yeah.
Well, that's like for us wise, for example, like I said before, where we put that 32-foot blind in out there, we're off of.
That takes a lot of grass.
That's all.
Well, we're off of the edges, right? We're off of the edge, and there's a 10-foot gap. Maybe not 10 foot, but we'll say a 5-foot gap between us and the hedgerow. That's why I went out there and planted that grass and that fertilizer for it to grow on top of what little grass that we'll put in there. Yeah, then we'll have that 12-foot grass.
That'll be sick as fuck.
Yeah, so I mean, but that's that kind of extra step that you need to take to be able to kill them.
So with that permanent blind, you run in just the X, or you run traffic through that too?
This year I'll probably run a traffic out of it too. But the hard part for where I hunt, there's a giant roost to the north, about 2-3 miles. So we don't really get migrators. They stop there, and then they trickle down towards us because there's a field across the street where they cannot be hunted, and it literally looks like Kansas.
I mean, 2-3 miles really isn't.
It's not much, but it's not much for them to just jump across the street.
Right.
Either, though, you know what I mean? So
There's a lot of places for them to go between there.
Right.
I mean, especially in a wheat field, if they don't secondary plot that.
Well, we're getting to the point with our farmers. Like, I just got off the phone with him Tuesday or something like that. He's like, "What kind of hillbilly shit you put out in my field?"
Really?
You know, like, just give it time. Rome wasn't built in the night. Like, just give it time. I got it. This, that, and the other. He was just joking around, but he's like, "Hey, you want me to spray that wheat field, get all them weeds down?" I'm like, "Yeah,
That'd be
I
nice.
really enjoy that." And he's like, "All right, sounds good." So, and then he's like, "You know, we're not gonna do much to it, but if I do end up, you know, planting or whatever, I'll leave you 100-acre or 100 by 100 little section for like just grass or whatever to grow up into, so the geese kind of go in there and do that."
That's wild.
It's he was actually very adamant on
Now, is that a lease or just permission?
paperwork. It says lease, but it's just permission.
Right.
I got it signed from him that I pay X amount of money, but
Right.
it's
Gives you the rights to say
I
what
can
goes
literally
on.
just kick anybody off of that property that I wanted to, and that's the reason why. Because I've had problems where people have been out there and they're like, "Well, we've had permission too," and he's like, "Well, no, you
Right.
were the only one out there."
Right, yep.
So, he was very adamant on the blinds that we wanted out there this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey, I'm bringing my excavator down. We're gonna dig you guys the pit blinds that you guys want."
Jesus.
And I'm like, "I don't think we need them, dude, but yeah, I think we're good." And he's like, "No, that'd be way better." I'm like, "I don't think we need them, man, but I really,
That
really
is
appreciate
crazy.
it." Yeah, he wanted to build 2 pit lines out in those fields, and
I mean, being that close to the roost, 2 miles or whatever, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
well, that's between the main roost that we hunt. That roost is within a mile.
That's still nuts, dude.
The literally, I think I had it edited out, or I had my buddy edit it out for the podcast with Sean. In town, you could literally see people like getting
Jog.
dressed in their apartment complex.
That wasn't edited out, I heard that.
No, the
There's a
location.
different one.
The location.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you can literally see people getting like dressed in their apartment. Kroger's is literally right across the street. Like downtown is right there.
Mm-hmm.
So and then the main roost is right there. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
nuts.
That's killer. I mean, that's an everyday hunt.
Oh, there's people that have been asking to pay for money, and that's the thing though too. Like people, the farmers, like the I'll say the newer generation, I guess, of farmers wise, they don't care about money.
No.
They care about
They already
people
got money.
respecting
Yeah.
their property, and they want
Mhm.
good people doing the right things out
Yeah.
there. That's the biggest.
Yeah,
thing.
they don't need your money. I
No.
learned that a
No.
long time ago.
Unless they've already been leased out and every
Yeah,
year they're doing
yeah.
a new lease or whatever. But the guys that don't, they just want people to respect their property
Right.
and to understand.
They've
Yeah.
had enough guys destroy their shit.
Exactly.
They want,
The one guy I sat and talked to for an hour, he had I got stopped by the cops up there by him before, and it was strictly because there was people that were running through his cornfield that night, straight through the corn.
Jesus.
baiting right there.
Well, but no,
They ain't gonna harvest that corn on the ground, dude.
it's crazy though, man. It's just like,
Yeah.
what are you guys even thinking? You
Right.
know, it's nuts.
I mean, maybe they just got off the road, they got a little drunk.
A little too many
Oh,
bush
if you're going
lights.
through the middle of a cornfield, I mean, that's more than.
Probably just
Maybe they're on something else. you
probably
know?
just an asshole.
I mean, it's legal in Michigan, so.
That field, I'll tell you guys after this, but I mean, that field was nuts.
Mm,
Absolutely crazy. If we get that one going this year, you guys will definitely have to come down for that, or come up for that one.
for sure.
But no, I'm glad you guys came up. I'm glad we got to spend some time with you guys, get to know you guys a little bit better. Like I said, we've only met
Couple
one
times, yeah.
This is 3 times for me and you, Brad.
Yeah.
And twice for me and you, Tanner.
Yeah.
You guys got anything you want to plug, like Instagram, Snapchat, or anything?
I mean, I got an Instagram, but you're probably not gonna be able to spell my last name.
Because it was his
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
I can tag you on the Instagram
Yeah,
post.
that'll do.
I can tag you on the Instagram post. What about you, Tanner? Same thing?
Yeah.
Alright, whatever, dude.
His name's Tanner
Lemley.
Lemley.
Now. Tanner underscore Lemley, Lemley.
But I do want to say we will be at Point Moulet for the Waterfowl Festival. We'll have our own booth. We got the podcast going up there. We got some merch coming in at that time. I do want to shout out Migra Ammunition. We got them double stack loads. We were just talking about those guys. So I can't say enough about those. That stack. I can't say enough about the people there. I can't say enough about just wanting to help you guys out or anybody else out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up a case because I'll go through a couple cases a year. So
yeah, I think you will definitely not regret it at all. I want to shout out Gator Decoys. Those are our buddies down there in Ohio as well. They're down, I forget the exact area, but they're southwest Ohio. They got their sticks. If you guys are ever hunting the marsh and stuff, they got the extended Mojo sticks instead of like buttoning up a bunch of stuff. Like they literally got sticks. You just unscrew it, you pop them up, or they got field stuff going in. And
yeah, I think Birch got some.
Does he?
Like
some
12-foot long ones.
Well, yeah, they extend up that tall. They're amazing, dude. They got a bunch of stuff coming out for the field hunting. They got a bunch of stuff, and a big shout out for like the GK guys. I went up to the Bay City Waterfowl Festival. They hooked us up. Just all around great guys, and for them guys, like they don't want to be the biggest, but they want to be the best, and that's a big thing for me with you're gonna do what you can do, and you're gonna like it or not. You don't know. You're gonna keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, and you're about to buy one of their calls. It sounds like
That's right.
That was pretty.
maybe two of them apparently.
Maybe,
That's
dude.
right.
That was pretty slick.
GK is about to put Molt Gear out of business with the way
Do
that
it,
boy
dude.
sounds.
Let's do it. No, but no, I appreciate you guys. As like I said, it's a little bit of a trip for you guys, but
Yeah, no
we'll have to
big
do
deal.
it again.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
have you guys
For
up
sure.
for a hunt?
Yeah.
So,
We don't mind. Our trucks drive just fine.
Well, especially if you're an out-of-state welder, dude.
That's right. He's got money.
I've got all money. Blow them all on shit, dude.
Yeah. But until next time, guys, I appreciate it. We'll see you.